Hello and welcome to the One Stop Co-op Shop, your one stop for co-op news and playthroughs. I'm Peter, and tonight I'm playing through Marvel Champions. And I'm here with Terence. What's up, Terence?
How's it going?
It is awesome. It's right before Christmas, so we were doing lots of Christmas setup stuff today, although it was a balmy 10 degrees outside today, and we lost power for a bit, so there was that as well.
It's an exciting day.
Yes. Yeah. So we went out, we got food, and while I was out getting food, the power came back on, apparently. So that was good.
So other people had power, just you did not.
Well, right. So it's funny because it was like just my street, really. Like, I could see the street behind mine. They still had power. It was just my street. They oh, you know who doesn't want to stream tonight? Peter. Even though I did want to stream, they're just trying to scare me into thinking I wasn't going to be able to stream tonight. Is really what it was.
Nice.
And then we did some family movies today too. So saw Top Gun Maverick and saw Scrooged. So yeah, it was a fun family day because the kids were off of school, I was off of work. So yeah, it was good.
Nice. Yeah. I'm excited because this is my 150th Marvel Champions Play of the Year. I had to pause playing so I could make it that.
Yes. Well, I told you. I was like, do not practice your decks this week, Terrence, because we're getting to 150 just this year, though, not like all time.
No, all time's over 500, so.
Yeah. So Steve Kingsley says, same thing happened to me one week. Lost power on my street and everything. And it was an evening he was planning on streaming on. Yeah, that happens sometimes. You know, we do our best, but you can't always make everything happen. Thankfully, I called the power company. I said, "Don't you know who I am?" And they said, "Oh yeah, no, we'll get that right on, sir. You need to get your normal Friday Night Marvel Champions game on."
Nice. You don't have like a backup generator?
I mean, just for my computer, just so I could stream and the internet.
Yep.
No backup generator. Maryland, we get, people say they get like all the weather. No, we really get all the weather. It's like 10 degrees today. It's going to be 60 next week. And we get in like, the high 90s with 80% humidity in the summer. Like, we really get all the seasons. Fall, we have, leaves falling, all that stuff. So. And Steve says,
Nice. Oh. Yeah, I think it was like 22 yesterday for me. So we have a little bit of the Arctic freeze. For like
interesting, because we were at 50 yesterday and down to 10 today.
Well, lows is 22. Apparently, according to the Weather Channel, it's like 26.
Oh, okay. Well, yeah, no. 10 was not our high today, because it was actually 40 this morning when we went out and walked the dogs, and then it got pretty cold pretty quick. But I don't think people are here to hear us talk about my weather and and walking the dog.
You didn't bring a storm deck.
Well, that's true. Oh, nice. I like it, Terrence. I like it. But Steve says, congratulations on 150 for the year, Terrence. I mean, it's going to be 200 before the end of the year. Let's be honest. You still have another week.
Well, it's not 150 yet because we haven't played yet.
Yes. So you literally pulled out everything from your deck. So we are going to start by going over our decks. And then we're going to talk about just a little bit about, the theme, the point of the deck. And then we will go on to talking about the scenario and getting playing. All right, Terrence, tell me about your Cyclops leadership deck.
Yeah, I wanted to build a Cyclops deck. I haven't played one on stream. I haven't really played Cyclops since it's come out.
Probably because I've played it 90 times.
Talked about it a little bit. Yeah, I think you brought it, and I was playing Shadowcat for a while, and then I felt like Storm and Wolverine came pretty quickly after Mutant Genesis, it felt like. So kind of just inundated with a lot of content, so...
There was definitely a lot.
We just got, 6 heroes really quickly?
Well, and we were off for a while, too. It felt like between you and me, one of us was away, and... Yeah. So anyway, all right, let's talk about it.
Yeah, So this is kind of like a very Cyclops has the advantage of picking any ally that's an X-Men traded.
Yep.
And I've noticed actually one of the cool things about X-Men is that there's actually a lot of allies that have enter play effects.
Okay.
So like, obviously Professor X does, but like Mirage can, stun an enemy as long as they have thwart that is less than her, or scheme less than her thwart. So that's like 1. So it's like probably a lot of minions, but there are actually some villains who have that, which is kind of
Yeah, there
interesting.
definitely are. Not.
Beast, you've seen that. You've played Forge a bunch, but so every single ally of mine that I have in this deck has an enter play effect.
Oh, cool.
Which then goes into the next part. That even Cyclops' signature ally has that as well, right? So when Phoenix comes into play, you can choose any card that is like a Cyclops card from your discard pile and add it to your hand. So like as you said, you were really impressed by Full Blast, that it was 8 additional damage on top of the 3 that it already does.
Yeah.
Of course, he has Exhaust to do that, but between Utopia and bringing Phoenix in, you can always like ready and make sure that happens, right?
Yep. Absolutely.
And so, like ideally you have a way to kind of recur Full Blast like fairly regularly is the idea. And so I have team of my X-Men to be able to fetch X-Men easily. And then rapid response and regroup, because I really want to play the allies from hand versus make the call, because I'm running team building and Uncanny X-Men, which allows me to discount my first 1x2. So like Phoenix would cost 1 once I kind of have it all built out, right? And so yeah, a bunch of ways to kind of recur these kind of effects depending on what you need. And so some fun decision making there, and then kind of pick the effect you want, and then pick the cards out of your discard pile that you want from Cyclops as well. And then Cerebro, because of both Phoenix and Professor X and Mirage, they're all psionics, and also Blindfold. So you have 4 psionic allies, so you actually have a good chance of having a psionic ally when you flip down to actually fetch any ally you want.
Plus, you have so many allies in this deck. Holy crap. You have more allies than I normally do, Terence. What's going on here? I mean, I guess it's a leadership deck, so makes sense.
Yeah, it's a leadership deck, and Cyclops has access to them. And then Pixie as well, just having that many allies means that you have a choice of like, oh, I accidentally got rid of Phoenix or whoever I want, right? Like you can pull them back into your hand.
And you don't feel bad about spending them to bring in other allies. By the way, your audio's a little crackly tonight. I don't know if this is the first, like I've been noticing it. I just didn't want to say something.
No.
But
just loud?
Maybe. But let me go through mine. I am using Spider because Spider is probably my favorite hero at this point. I love her so much. So Penny Parker, if you don't know her, she's a 2-carded hero. 1 card over here works as her alter ego and suit, which she can exhaust to draw cards. But then when you flip over, the suit over here is what's going to be attacking and things. And she counts as a resource on this side. So kind of neat hero. And basically, I just wanted to ready her as much as possible and do as much as possible with her being ready. So Limitless Stamina was a card that's come out, I think, recently. I don't think that was out when oh, no, it might have even come in her deck. I can't remember now. So Limitless Stamina, I got 3 of those. I got Lockjaw because I got a lot of basic cards. Hand Cannon, just to have a card in play, do some extra damage. And the whole goal, again, is to get as many cards in play as possible so I can keep, going through my deck and doing my signature cards. Target acquired, again, something I could put out and play. Gets rid of some of those star effects, which there definitely are some in some of these modulars. Unshakable, again, really it's not for the steady more than just getting a card out of my deck for 1 cost. Godslayer, free 2 damage every turn since I'm readying multiple times. I should be able to have at least 1 attack on the boss. So Godslayer for some extra damage. Combat Training again, more damage. Avenger's Mansion, I'm doing the basic package. And with such a small hand size, so it's 4 on one side and 3 on the other, I just want to be able to draw cards as much as possible. Crew Quarters, again, another card just to get on my deck. Web of Life and Destiny as well, although I do have quite a few Web Warriors, although they're not all Web Warriors. I got Lockjaw as a fan favorite. I got Nick Fury, but the rest are all Web Warriors for allies. So, yeah. So it's mostly a basic package with hand cannon and combat training in there and lots of readying just to keep readying and attacking and doing other things. and there might be a surprise in there as well, which we'll find out maybe later. All right, so let's see what we're doing. We're going against Mojo on expert mode here. Mojo goes up to 50 threat before threats out, and we found out last week that that is definitely a possibility with Mojo's 3 scheme and 1 attack. And for Mojo, you take a modular and add it in. We're going to add 2 more later. I use this handy dandy dice. The nice part is there are 6 modulars on these TV sets. That's perfect for dice. I don't know if they did that on purpose to basically say roll to pick one. I know they don't say roll, they say randomize, like pick a random one. But like, it's nice that there are 6 because, you know, D6. I think they didn't say roll the dice because then it's like, well, why doesn't it come with a dice? But I do think that's nice. We are starting with the sci-fi, which is awesome for you, Terence, because every ally that comes in play gets toughness. All minions as well, but I mean, since you're an ally deck, that seems good for us. And no, we did not cheat and make it that way. All right, Terence, you want me to go first since you're going to be going first 90% of this game?
Am I? Should I playing Field Commander? Is that?
I mean, are you? I don't know. Do you have it in your hand already?
I do have it in my hand.
I mean, yeah. So I'm going first since you will be going first 90% of this game, if not 100% of this game. So I'm going to draw my 4 cards. Oh, look. There's my there's my
surprise in your deck.
There's my surprise. Although I don't think I'm playing it turn 1. Symbiote suit, +1 hand size, +1 to each stat, +10 hit points. Maybe I play a turn 1, although then I don't get out Web of Life and Destiny and Spider Command. Spider Command I don't care about again. It's just a card to get out of my deck. Alright. I'm going to hold Web of Life and Destiny. Yes, I'm getting... well, hold on. Do I keep an All Systems Go to draw to make sure I get one of those?
Yeah, don't you want another upgrade?
I do, but I want to like discard to draw it and not have to pay to get another upgrade, by the way. Alright, Symbiote Suit's going. Fine. Spider Command's going. I think I'll keep...
How often do you cycle your deck?
Probably gonna... Well, the whole point is to get a lot of cards on the table to cycle it faster. And it depends what comes out early, right? Like Nick Fury early helps me cycle my deck pretty well. So we'll see. We'll see. Alright, so first thing I'm going to do is exhaust to draw 2 cards. Oh my gosh. Are you kidding me with this hand? I mean, I think Mansion's priority 1. So do I Fury into Mansion? What do you think? I mean, Limitless Stamina doesn't matter turn 1. Unshakable I don't really care about. Let's get rid of All Systems Go. Web of Destiny. Oh, I might not be able to...
You can't pay for Mansion unless you get a double.
I'll get a double. I got 5 doubles in there. What are the odds of me not getting a double?
Pretty high.
I guess that is, but that's all right. I got a web fluid compressor that I will get out turn 1. All right, so we will flip. And we will put the web fluid compressor out.
You doing nothing with Fury? Because he... Oh, I mean, I guess he has... His tough doesn't matter.
His what?
His tough doesn't matter.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, so he'll plink off...
You gotta put the 2 threat also on main scheme.
Take those 2 off of there, put them on the main scheme, so every time we flip, we gotta do that. So we all started with 2 threat on ourselves. Let's see. Fury is going to thwart the main scheme, get rid of those 2, and I'm going to attack since I got the attack module, right? 4. Only because I got that attack thing, I'm going to hold on to Mansion for now, and your turn.
Okay. I'll fetch for a free upgrade, I think.
So wait, what are you doing? Oh, you're searching?
This one probably.
Yep, -1 attack seems good.
I'll flip up. Regriff's not as good this opening turn.
You got all the double resources.
Yep.
So Mirage comes in tough.
Tough. I guess I hold her.
Yeah, she doesn't stun
Just like
anything. Oh, when my turn ends, I'm sorry, I gotta flip over 4 cards. So for those who don't know Mojo, after your turn ends, discard the top 4 cards of the encounter deck. Place a threat on your hero for each card discarded this way that does not belong to Mojo's encounter set. So 1 is a Mojo card, 2 is not, 3 is not, 4 is. So I get 2 threat on myself.
I'm gonna thwart for 2, which prevents, but basically thwarts the 2 I would have put on.
Oh, I'm sorry. Yep, when you flipped up. Yep.
Yep.
You're holding Mirage, and you did put
I guess
Field
if she has
Commander in.
the tough, right?
Yeah, I mean, you should definitely use her to chump. I wish I could use your double resource, Terence.
I think I hold the double resource just because allies are expensive and there's a
Yeah,
good chance I'll draw one.
I'm gonna hold Mansion, even though it's what it is.
Like I don't think it's worth burning it for Optic Blast.
No, just for the 3 damage? No, definitely
No.
not.
All right, so I'll do the 4.
So go
I hope
into.
we didn't want minions.
I mean, they were
But
all the sci-fi minions, to be fair, so I don't want those. So you should have 3 on you.
4, right? It's all.
No, one of them was Mojo. Pretty sure. This one was Mojo.
Oh, I'll take it.
Yep.
All right.
All right, cool. So that was turn 1, Mojo Madness. All right, so Mojo gets 2 on there. The -1 attack really doesn't matter because we are jumping, I'm assuming. Oh, let's draw my 2 cards.
I mean,
Ooh.
Mirage isn't jumping. She's tough.
Web Trap's pretty good. Although, stunning isn't as good as I thought in this. Because I was thinking stun prevented the 4-card thing, but it's just if you're on your hero side you get it. It actually doesn't help at all. But Nick Fury is going to block Mojo's attack, so that's 1 plus another 3. Fury laughs it off as he goes away. And then you're, I assume, blocking with Mirage.
Yeah.
So that's 0 attack. Put a threat on each character you control, so that includes Mirage. Lovely.
Are there normal non-counter tokens? No.
No, that's the only ones I've seen. So you're up to 4. Mirage is up to 1. And then we take our encounter cards because they make us. Only because they make us. Hey, what were you saying about minions? There's a sci-fi minion as well, and it's tough. Because everybody's tough. Force interrupt. When Pyro 4.0 attacks, take 2 indirect damage. Well, poo-poo on you, I say. Poo-poo on you. All right. Go ahead and flip yours. As long as you can plink off the tough, I can... Oh, no.
It.
Oh, that's good. You don't have your visor yet. That's great, actually.
Yeah, I'll take it.
Yeah, it's great when it comes out before you get your visor. In fact, I've learned to just basically not play my visor until...
Just in the discard, I'll play it. The obligation.
Oh, yeah. If it gets discarded, you're right.
Yeah.
So for those who don't know Lost Visor, search your hand deck and discard for Ruby Quartz Visor and place it face down under this. Cyclops cannot attack, but Mirage can, but she's exhausted, which is not great because I actually was hoping you could plink off tough. It's fine. Everything's fine. And then Alter Ego, you can exhaust yourself to get it to your hand, which is awesome because the visor itself lets you generate a resource for your Optic Blast, which means anybody who has an attachment on them will you can blast them for 3. And with the visor pays for it. You don't have to pay for it, which is sweet. All right, Terence, are you flipping down this turn?
I am, and I have answers.
Oh, I have questions.
I think I had to meet my X-Men. Top 5, right?
Yep. I mean, seems pretty good.
Yeah, Pixie's basically the only dud one, so I ain't playing her. Because her building only applies if it's from hand.
Oh, interesting. So wait. Search top 5 cards and put it into play. If it's still in play at the end of the phase, add it to your hand.
All right, so X-Men gets tough. I'll give myself tough. She gets tough because she's an ally. I'll burn the tough to get rid of the tough.
I appreciate that.
I have a pretty good turn for you. I will play.
Well, you know I can kill this, right? With the normal attack?
That's I mean I have a pretty good turn for you. I will play Professor X, who also gains tough, but then I will use it to thwart 3 off of me.
Sweet.
So he loses tough now. I will flip down, search my deck for a tactics card.
Oh, you're gonna let me draw cards. I like that, Terence. I like that.
I'm a team player.
I mean, you better be with Cyclops.
I mean, I feel like every time I've seen you play Cyclops, you've used every priority target for yourself.
I mean, I'm not gonna lie. That's probably true. You do get this to hand, your visor.
Yeah, and I also get Polaris back in my hand.
At the end of the turn, Terence. Well, go ahead and draw the 4 cards, I guess, then as well. Oh, did you put the threat on? Hold on.
No, you gotta put that on.
So 4 threat goes on when you flip down. And so far it's... Oh, yes! Everybody drink! Shadows of the Past is gone! Whoop, whoop!
I mean, those are some good cards to get out.
We lost to a double advance last time. So, yeah. So...
Well, also exhaustion
3
sucks.
Did you put damage on Mirage?
She doesn't until she dies.
Wait, what?
She's exhausted from defending.
Yes, you are correct. All right. Cool. Well, before I decide anything else to do, because Terence is a wonderful human being, I'm going to use my 2 attack, and then get 2 more attack from this web fluid compressor.
I forgot to confuse the villain as well.
When you brought out Professor X?
Perfect. Yeah.
Which seems good. Oh, wait. You didn't have to flip 4, by the way. We just screwed that up.
Oh.
Those will be my 4. It doesn't matter. Doesn't matter. Just leave them.
All right, so I have 0, right?
You have 0. I have 5. Because no cards should be played between now and then, right? So it doesn't matter. Yeah, I was like, that's it. Those cards are too good. Do not put them back. All right. So that, yeah, because you only do that when you're on the hero side. So force response hero after your turn ends. Do the top 4 cards. All right. So I kill Pyro with my 2 damage plus my fluid compressor for 4 damage. Goodbye. And then I get to draw 2 cards because of your upgrade you put on. Thank you. Thank you so much. I'm definitely putting out mansions. So it's 1. Should I put out target acquired as well or hold on to web trap? What do you think?
It's up to you.
I could pay for target acquired this turn is the benefit.
You probably do that because you're still fishing for upgrades.
Yeah. 2, 3, 4 to put in mansion. Then I can exhaust mansion to... Well, never mind. I'm going to put in my upgrade, obviously. So the benefit of my upgrades, for those who don't know Spider very well, exhaust an upgrade you control to generate a resource. Whatever resource. So this one gives me a wild resource. This one gives me an energy resource. This gives me a fist, in addition to the +2 defense or whatever else they give you. So obviously you want to get out your resources as soon as possible, which is what I'm working on doing now. All right. So I already did my attack for the turn. I already used my mansion for the turn. Very exciting turn for me. I mean, it is pretty exciting to have a mansion and another ally upgrade out. So I'm not going to complain. All right, but I am done, Terence. I am done.
Nice.
And I'm going to draw my 3 card hand size. But that's why 3 card hand size doesn't feel so bad. I got the thwart one in my hand, and I got web trap and a hand cannon, by the way. So next turn will be pretty good. I really want Aunt May and Uncle Ben, I think is what it's called. That lets me cycle my deck faster, basically. Which is also why the 3 card hand size doesn't feel bad. Even if you're not drawing specific spider suit cards, which is what they do. They discard 2 cards, pull any spider suit cards into your hand. The reason it's good is because it cycles your deck, gets you back to getting your, signature stuff faster. All right, so we're going to add 2 threats to the scheme. Then this villain is confused, so they are doing nothing against you, Terence, which seems good. They are going to attack me.
Professor X.
You're going to block with Professor X. I do appreciate... Oh, yeah, at the end of my turn, we did do those cards. So, all right. Hinder 10. Obligation. So, glad that didn't come out. All right. Where else are we now? Encounter cards, right? Boom, boom. Go ahead and draw yours.
Wow, 110? Man.
Choose either exhaust the character.
Here you go.
Oh. So I get to flip down and do what? An exhaust penny?
Or you can discard and interface.
No. I'll get rid of this thing from the game forever.
Alright, so it goes up to 30?
Oh, yep. Discard an upgrade or support you control. F you.
You getting rid of Mansion or you getting rid of one of your upgrades?
Oh, hell no. I'm getting rid of Speed Alloy. Are you kidding me? 1 cost versus a 4 cost and I can search for this? It's not even a question, right? Like, I could search for this with Go All Out. You know that, right? Like, yep. Yeah, I mean, it's not even close. 4 cost Mansion? No, thank you. All right. So good news is I got rid of that thing. I am first player, but psych, you're first because you're a field commander. Go ahead, Terence.
Yeah, how do you feel about that?
I actually don't mind. Honestly, for 2-player games, I think it should be back and forth and back and forth. And the only way to do that is to always have the same first player. Does that make sense? So I actually don't mind the same person going first every turn. It's kind of weird to have back-to-back turns because it feels like a long time between your turns. We can talk about that. That'll be maybe our post-stream discussion.
Do I play Pixie?
I mean, don't you play your visor?
Pixie costs 1 now.
I mean, that's your call. What does she do? And you get to pull an ally? I mean, it's pretty good.
I could pull Forge to then grab something that I actually need.
But you can't play Forge this turn. You'll be holding Forge and your visor, right?
Yeah, but I mean, it's fine, right?
Yeah. Because
then she can jump and then Mirage can jump, right?
Yep.
Assuming you're jumping
well,
up.
And you can do something. You can thwart with her for 1, too. Yep. Because why wouldn't you? Oh, she's tough. You could actually attack. Yeah, I forgot she's tough. Well, then you don't even...
Yeah,
you got 2 turns of blocking with her. Which seems good. Right?
Well, it's 1 if I actually jump with her.
You could just block with the tough. Yeah. And then thwart with her next turn.
Right.
And...
Mirage is definitely thwarting for 2. And then I'll flip up and thwart for another 2.
All right.
And I think I hold these.
All right. If your turn's over, let's flip the 4 cards. This time you actually are on hero side, so you should be doing that.
Yeah. Well, I guess they're more than 1 away. Well, Mirage is more than 1 away because she actually has 3 hit points now. But that's cool. 1.
3.
1 Mojo card, I meant.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think I'll probably just burn my top probably and keep Mirage up.
Yeah, of course. All right. So I'm gonna Mansion. All systems go. So should I pull that one? Well, let's do this. 1, 2. Put that in play. Then I will all systems go. Search your deck and discard pile. Yeah. I'll search my discard pile for that 1 coster. Right?
Yeah, and just play it.
Yeah, I mean, I'm losing 2 thwart by doing it, but it's fine. The only one I don't have is the one that readies myself, and I'm okay with that right now.
That one costs 2, right? Doesn't it?
Costs 3. It's expensive. Yeah, but I mean, it readies you every turn, or it's a wild resource, so it's worth it. Do you want me to just thwart?
I think you just thwart.
I should have flipped up the way.
Yeah,
thwart 2. All right, and then ready up, draw up, get my 3 cards. There's Aunt May and Uncle Ben. So yes, so exhaust it to discard the top 2 cards of your deck, 3 if you're an alter ego, and each spider you discard, you take to your hand. Each spider card, and by the way, I do have my host spider as well, which is my last upgrade. Yeah, I mean, Aunt May and Uncle Ben's just so good because it gets you your signature cards, and it also gets you through your deck faster, which gets you back to your signature cards again. So for a 3 hand size hero, 3/4 on your alter ego side, actually goes through her deck pretty quickly. Not like normal speed quickly, but I'm only 17 to your 14, right? Like, I'm not that far behind. Now, granted, I have a mansion and I
gave you a priority target.
And priority target and Professor X. Or not Professor X, Fury. But with Aunt May and Uncle Ben, I'll be going through 5 cards a turn as well. You know what I mean? So it's not that bad. And on the other side,
I've also been holding cards.
That's true. No, I mean, she's certainly slower to go through her deck the first time. And if you just get screwed and all your upgrades are on the bottom of your deck, or Aunt May and Uncle Ben are on the bottom of your deck.
I've seen it for you.
Oh, it happens. Yeah, it definitely happens. You almost have to. I mean, alter ego doesn't even help that much because you only have a 4 card hand size versus 3. That's why.
Well, you get the ready on. You get the draw from her.
Well, that's true. 2 extra card draw. That's true. I think the other thing that helps is Symbiote Suit and Avengers Mansion. I mean, that's just more cards that give you more draw and more possibility to get to those faster. So that's part of the reason I put Symbiote Suit in. Most of the reason was to watch the look on your face. But don't forget, this is a readying deck also, where I'm trying to ready as much as possible to take advantage of plus stats as much as possible. So that was part of it as well. Okay, let's add 2 threat. Oh, by the way, you got an upgrade on this one. Was that this turn? That was last turn, right?
Yeah, maybe.
I think that was last turn. And did I flip the 4 cards at the end? I did not, clearly, because I have 0 threat on me. So that's a Mojo, no Mojo, Mojo, Mojo. All of 1. All right. So I added the 2 threat already. Mojo is going to attack me. Are you jumping? Okay. I mean, I also have 14.
Chump implies I'm dying, right?
What was that?
Ellie's not dying. I feel like Chump implies she's dying, which she is not.
Well, true. Do you want to save it for yourself? I have 14 health.
No, I have a tough, dude.
Oh, okay. All right. Oh, well, that's a 3 boost. So I'm very happy you blocked for me. Nothing else in front of me. You get attacked. Uh-oh. Are we really through the deck already? Wow. 2 players, you go through much faster. All right. So as we go through the deck, hold on. So when does this happen? Let me look at this.
It happens at the beginning of the villain phase.
The start of step 3.
Yeah.
All right. We do put an acceleration token here. So there is going to be something creepy and kooky that happens.
I need to fetch that card. Under fire.
Yes, because once it leaves the deck is when you shuffle and put it back, but that one stays out. All right. So we're about to lose Mojo Runner as well. So no more tough for your allies, Terence. How do you feel about that?
It's fine.
All right. So we are at the beginning of step 3, right?
Yep.
So that's when this happens. At the start of step 3, the villain phase. Well, hold on. We should have been here. After the encounter deck resets, if there's no set-aside modular side schemes, which we have 2 right now, players lose the game. Otherwise, flip this card. All right. At the start of step 3 of the villain phase, which is now, deal encounter cards randomly. Choose 1 set-aside modular and reveal its show environment. Shuffle the rest of the modular. Wait, did you just shuffle them?
Left or right?
1, 2, 3 is left.
The show easily. What do you want? Left
One,
or
two,
right?
three is left. 4, 5, 6 is right. So right, whatever that. Horror. Yeah.
I remember hating horror because of the werewolf. Where's the show guard? Here it is.
Okay, so this is interesting. I actually had to figure this out earlier when I looked at it. It says when revealed, discard each other setting environment in play, which we did. If this card was revealed from the encounter deck, which it is not, it's revealed from out of play, then you the card gains Surge. But it is not revealed from the encounter deck because you take the environment out before you ever add it to the encounter deck. Then we shuffle up all of the horror cards and put them on top of the deck, which is also awful. And then you deal the first player, who is me, 2 encounter cards. Now,
Oh, you get a bonus one.
I don't get a bonus one. I get my normal one and your normal one. Yep. So, minions gain quick strikes, and allies take -1 consequential
I feel like
damage.
that's like basically all the mod. It's like one card short of the entire modular set just now.
It is. Yes. You are correct,
Nice.
sir. All right. So, what do they get? Quick strike? Do all of them get quick strike? It's awesome. All right. Force response. After cultivate activates against you, search the encounter deck and discard pile for the Kraken and put it into play engage with you.
Yeah, that ain't happening.
Well, it's probably in one of these cards, right? All right. So it is going to activate. Does 1 damage. I mean,
Wait,
we
why
want
is it
to
activating?
what? Quick
It's not
strike.
activating? Oh.
They
that
all
thing.
get quick strike, dude. Yeah. No.
Alright, so, are you doing the thing?
What thing?
Don't you have to search for the Kraken?
Yeah, I mean, if it's not the top card, then we don't worry about it, right?
Alright.
It's clearly one of these. Let's
So
see.
then you shuffle the deck, right?
What do you mean?
Shuffle, and then you discard. Oh no.
After the cultist activates, search the encounter deck and discard pile for the Kraken. The Kraken is in the horror set. There are only 6 cards in the horror set. This
Right,
is
but
one.
then you shuffle the deck, so this actually isn't on top anymore. And then he gets
Oh.
discarded, right? That's what I was saying.
Oh, I gotcha. Oh, then you
He goes
discard the
away.
cultist. Oh,
Yeah, because he like basically does his spell and then goes away.
got it. So vampire attacks with piercing, deal double damage to the vampire.
Sounds great for me.
After the vampire attacks and damages a character, heal all damage from the vampire. If no damage was healed this way, give the vampire a tough status card. Should I block this to stop them from getting tough?
Doesn't piercing mean I go through it?
Oh, touche. So I don't block. I just take 2 damage. And this will be the Kraken, or you have the Kraken. Nope, you have the Kraken. Congratulations! When revealed, defeat an ally you control and place it face down under the werewolf pack. Ha ha, sucker. Force interrupt. So you're happy to have the Kraken then because I have the werewolf pack. When the werewolf pack would be defeated, discard an ally from under it instead, then
That
heal
sucks.
all damage from the wolf pack. So I do take a 3 damage attack. Boom, boom, boom. So you get the Kraken.
Every other character takes 1 damage.
After the Kraken activates, each other character takes the damage. Now remember, you're -1 damage when you attack a minion. Oh, this is per player. Ow. Oh, does that include me? That does include me.
Yeah.
Each other character. You didn't take it from me, I assume.
No.
So is Kraken
I don't think I
priority
can kill the
1?
Kraken this turn. Unfortunately.
What?
I don't think I can kill the Kraken this
I mean,
turn.
Kraken's 12. I can do 4, but I can't do 12. In case you were wondering.
Aren't you Aggression?
I mean, I'm aggression, but I'm not built up yet.
You're not built up as you're like over halfway through your deck.
I mean, I could do 6, potentially.
I mean, do we try to kill the Kraken instead?
I
think
could do.
just kill Vampire.
I could do 6 for sure. And I might be able to do more depending on draw, but I'm not gonna.
Right. I think I just do this to open.
Yeah, seems good. So do 3.
6.
3 with piercing,
Deals
right?
double damage.
Oh,
And deals double damage.
Well, boom. Bye, vampire. Draw 2, baby.
Okay.
Team building seems good for your plan. So does Cerebro.
Yeah.
What do we get now? -1 consequential. What did you do here? Oh, that was a block. So Mirage can attack a minion. So you can start
For
hurting
free.
Kraken. I mean, I'm doing the 4 here. There's no reason to attack the Wolfpack.
When. Oh, you don't even have an ally under
I
it.
didn't have an ally, right? Yep.
No. Mm-hmm. What allies do I have left in my deck?
Steve says, Peter enjoying the grief deck. I don't know what you're talking about. I don't grief. There's no griefing.
Can't flip down. Do I 2 my X-Men?
What does that do?
Lets me search top 5 for an ally put into play.
I mean, that's up to you. I mean, I feel like you want team building in.
Yeah.
I mean, team building seems like a rest of the game play. And then you could put Forge in, right? With team building and Uncanny X-Men.
Yep.
I mean, that
I
seems
grab
pretty
Utopia.
good.
Utopia over X-Jet. Yep.
I mean, Utopia is great. I mean, X-Jet's great too, but lets you ready an X-Men every time you play. Seems good.
So do I just do I attack or do I just
Why wouldn't you attack?
or
I don't know. I guess we get this forever, right? So
yeah.
That's up to you. I mean, I feel like you definitely attack with Mirage. Right? No reason to kill her off when you can just poke 1 damage for free.
Yep.
Alright, you good?
Yeah, I guess so.
Well, hold on. You're on your hero side, so you ain't good. Flip them, baby.
Huh. Do we need to be flipping down to like stop this much card discard?
I mean, schemes for 0.
Should I do that?
After Kraken activates, it does have the star next to scheming, so it will still do the damage, but
That's fine. I mean, none of these people die if I jump with Mirage for you.
Yep. Flip down, baby.
I have priority target still? Is that true? No, I already did a priority target for you and myself, so I don't have another one. That's still fine.
What does flipping down let you do?
Search for a...
And add it to your hand. But you can do that next turn. No reason to do it this turn. Unless you got a 0 you think will be useful.
I don't even have one left in my deck.
Alright, so I'm going to do Avengers Mansion to draw a card. Ooh, double resource. Seems good. So I'm going to double resource and Spider over here to go ahead and put in my last upgrade, Host Spider. And actually I may put in both of these, but let's start with Aunt May.
I think you put both of those.
Well, let me do my defensive one first to put Aunt May and Uncle Ben in. Do you want me to flip down is a question. Because if I do, then I can hold off on this.
I don't think we can both be down.
Oh, yeah, because of all the threat. Yeah. Alright, so I'm an Aunt May and Uncle Ben. I'll flip 2. That goes away. This comes to my hand. Oh, Ejection Protocol. Sweet. So I'm getting 2 cards out of my hand. Yep, absolutely right. So I'll use my attack one. Oh, no. No, I won't. Oh, I kind of want to use both of these. Do I play... I think I play Crew Quarters? And I just discard Ejection Protocol? I think it's fine.
Wait, what for?
I'm going to give this to you, by the way.
Wait, Wait, what's happening?
I used Ejection Protocol to pay for Crew Quarters. I'm going to use all these upgrades on my turn. So I'm attacking for 4 to get rid of the werewolves.
Should I just heal?
Yeah, yeah. Why wouldn't
Might
you?
as well.
And it's not just is it only yourself? Oh yeah, and alter you.
No, I can heal you, but you
Well,
have to
yeah,
not
I'm
alter
not
you,
doing
which you're
that.
not.
So then I ready myself with host spider. Then I'm gonna thwart for 4. And if I had
Feels good.
symbiote suit, I'd be healing. I'd be
Oh,
thwarting for 5. Oh,
this goes up by 3
what goes up by 3? Oh,
from
when you
my.
flipped. Yep.
Yeah, fortresses go up by 1 when we jump with Mirage, but I feel like that's still worth it.
Oh, of course. Well, it's gonna go up by 1 either way because when your thing activates. All right. So that is sci-fi, Mojo, standard. So 2. 2 non-Mojo cards. And let's ready up and draw my 3 cards. Ooh, 2 double resource and rapid deploy. Which seems good, except not with the double resource. It does not seem good. Alright, so we're going to add 3 threats to the main. Then he is going to scheme against you for 3 plus another 2. That's 5. Gets it up to 30. Definitely starting to get a little worried. And this one schemes against you as well. Unfortunately, since you were first player, so that will kill your ally.
Yeah, that's fine. Threat goes up by 1.
I did do that.
And then. Cool.
All right. It's still a 0 scheme, but I'm assuming that 0 next to, or that star next to it means that they still scheme.
Yeah, after it activates. Alright, I'll jump with Pixie.
Oh, thank you, sir. So that's 1 plus place a threat on each character you control. Well, that's a shame.
Alright, so it goes up by another 1 because Pixie died.
Yep. And then you get a threat, and so does Forge. This seems not great. It's fine. Everything's fine. All right. So then we get our encounter cards. So you should probably move that over. You were first player. Unfortunately, this turn, that did not work out great. Oh, no. I've seen this show before.
Nice.
Villain schemes for 1. All right, that wasn't nearly as
He's
bad.
for 3.
What?
His base scheme is 3, but it's 0.
2, 3. 1 revealed. Choose 1. Spend 2 different resources, Mojo schemes, or take a damage for each threat on your identity. If you take less than 2 damage, so should I take the 3 damage, or should I just spend the 2?
No, you just.
Yeah, I got 2 double resources.
Yeah.
Does it say 2 different though? Which is fine. I got
2 different. You got 10 spades.
Well, here's a wild, and we'll do the defensive one again. Where is that? Yep, there we go. Yeah, that lost us the game. That was one of the cards last time, I think. Oh, no, because we would have paid the 2 resources. All right, but you were still first, but I am going to Avengers Mansion while I'm waiting. Ooh, Lockjaw! Good boy. Good boy, Lockjaw. Ooh, you got Phoenix. Although you still don't have your tactical blasting thing in your discard yet.
At Optic Blast, I discarded it for a mulligan.
Oh, you did? Oh, okay. So you do have it. Well, that'll be useful this turn to blast some Kraken.
I'm trying to math this out. All right.
Well, hold on. Don't forget to draw a tactic.
I have it in my deck.
Yeah, you have none. That's a shame.
It is a shame. Tactical Brilliance. 4 for 3.
Oh, you know what? Let me do this too, Aunt May and Uncle Ben, because maybe I get a thwarting card. Rapid deploy, I get to draw. Spider-Man, I don't. Move 3 threat.
So target.
I'll be thwarting 6, by the way. Nice. So how did you get priority?
Target on Kraken. Tactical Brilliance.
Oh, yeah. Nice.
I will use team building discount for Uncanny and Blindfold to play Phoenix.
Yeah. You actually get to play her.
Unfortunately, it means I have to dump Utopia, but I'm fine with that.
I mean, yeah, it happens.
I'm going to take out Optic Blast.
Seems good. So that's 11 damage.
which kills it.
11 out of its 12. Yep. And then you get to draw 2 cards.
Which I would have loved for Utopia, but is what it is.
Would have been nice.
Those are 2 useless cards. It's nice.
I mean, you do have Phoenix.
I'm exhausted. Phoenix will thwart for 2.
She could attack for free.
No, it's minions.
Oh, minions, you're right. So make sure she gets her damage. Alright. So you're done?
I heal everyone by 1. Everyone heals for 1.
Wait, how does that happen?
So I will have thwarted with Phoenix first. When I kill the Kraken. So you heal for 1.
Oh. And the world will be a better place with healing. Oh, I have 2 rapid deployments, by the way.
I'm sad that Optic Blast had no overkill, but I'll take it.
All right, so here's what we're doing. I'm not going to do as much as I normally do, but that's fine. We're going to do our attacky thing and Lockjaw to rapid deployment, which removes 3 threat, and if I used a sync ratio ability, remove 3 threat again. So that's 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Hey, remember how I'm supposed to be attacky? Guess what's not happening this turn? I think I'm thwarting. I think I'm paying both of these to thwart 6 again, and then get Lockjaw. Yeah, that makes the most sense. Well, because otherwise I am getting +2 thwart, but I'll get +2 thwart with Lockjaw and have a chumper, right? So it just makes more sense to do in this situation. So it's 6 again.
Oh, I Forge also. Thwarted for 1, I forgot about that.
So I'm going to pay these 4 to search for Lockjaw, because Lockjaw is a good boy, and everybody needs a good boy. So I will thwart for 2, putting 2 damage on Lockjaw. I'm going to thwart here for 2. The question is, do I flip down?
It's up to you.
I mean, it does put 3 threat on and schemes, but it doesn't go through the deck as fast. By the way, you didn't do that after your turn, right?
No.
So 1 Mojo card?
Yep.
So you take 3. I think I'm going down. I think that makes the most sense.
Okay.
I mean, it just lets me draw through so many more cards next turn. I probably should have waited to Aunt May and Uncle Ben till I went down, but, well, no, then I couldn't have removed 6 threat, and I might not have gone down. So wait, did we add this 3 threat? Okay, cool.
I did.
Awesome. All right, so ready up and draw up to my new hand size of 4. Yeah. Yeah. I got 2 power in all of us. That's all right. Oh, I also have Venom. So do you know Venom?
Yes.
Yeah, so you place a counter on Venom for each of these you use to pay for Venom. If I use all 4, that means I get to put 4 counters, and Venom becomes a 5/5 with 3 health, which seems real good. All right, so I am done. I am down. We don't have to draw cards for me. We are going to add 3 threat. Then Mojo is going to attack you.
Jump.
Okay. For 1 damage.
Put 1 threat on.
Why are we putting 1 on? Oh, we have 1. Gotcha. And then thwarting against me for 3 plus 3 more. 6. Seems not great, Terence. That's all right. I will have a 5/5 ally out in 2 seconds, and I'll have Lockjaw with 2 power, and all of us is in my head. So I'm not too worried about it. Oh wait,
Okay.
did you draw your encounter card already?
Okay.
They attack
Those
you
are
right away, by the way, because of the Mojo files.
Okay.
So you take 2
2 indirect.
and 2
Do
indirect.
I just eat that?
I mean, you do have the crew quarters, and I assume you're going down.
Yeah,
But
sure.
that's your call. I can kill Pyro for you pretty easily.
You're stunned. That's cool.
Wait, you're stunned?
That's the boost.
Wait, why are they boosting?
Villainous.
Oh, Program Elite. Place a magnetic counter on him, then choose and discard a card from your hand for each magnetic counter. Yeah, that guy's got to go. I mean, both of them got to go, let's be honest. Both sci-fi. How did they get shuffled back in again already? Oh, those aren't the horror ones. Those are sci-fi. Awful. All right, so guess who's first player? Still you. But I'm gonna Avengers Mansion. Ooh, which I got a limitless stamina, which isn't bad. Aunt May and Uncle Ben to flip 3. All systems go is freaking amazing. Spider-Man and limitless.
Dude, you still gotta do your card, man.
Oh, whoops. It's fine. We know what's coming, but I don't draw the extra card right now. It'll be during your turn. Surge, exhaust your identity. Wait, which one's my identity? The big one, right?
No, the little one. It says Ultra Ego on it.
Okay.
That is a support.
Okay. That's actually more sad. After they engage you, place an upgrade you control face down under them.
So you gotta pick one of your upgrades.
All right. It's probably gonna be Aunt May and Uncle Ben. No, that's a support.
That's an upgrade.
I'm gonna put myself under. No. Obviously the one cost one plus 2 defense. Well, that became less fun all of a sudden, Terence. What's up with that?
Yes, sir.
They would have attacked, but did not. Okay. All right. So now I'm going to do all the things I just said. Draw this card. Draw this card, and these 2 get discarded. I just deck. So I get an encounter card. You're looking at the top 5, putting an X-Men in play?
I am.
After B center play, search your deck and discard pile for a resource card. Seems good. Although, where's your hand? Oh, you played X-Jet?
Yep. What should I do here? Should I just kill Pyro?
You could do 4 to this one. You could kill Pyro. I mean, you could kill both of them, right?
No.
Well, I do 4, so I should probably kill Pyro. If you can do 3 and 7... I mean, I do have a 5/5 ally coming out that I'll be able to help with. So there is that, by the way. And I have Lockjaw for an extra 2. So, like... But
you also have a ready?
Yeah, that's... Well, I have plenty of ways to ready.
Do I need to kill anything? Should I thwart? What's the deal here?
I mean, if you want them all dead, you're going to have to kill something.
So,
well, why don't you Optic Blast? Oh, you don't have a stupid upgrade.
I don't have an upgrade, and I'm stunned.
Well, yeah, why don't you get... Oh, are you going to heal?
No, I'm going to get rid of this garbage.
Stun?
Yeah.
Alright. So what are you doing with your allies?
I don't care. 2 and 2. I mean, I can just take out Pyro.
Yeah, go ahead and take out Pyro. If we need to thwart, I'll see what I can do.
Or do you want me to thwart instead?
No. I've got thwarting. Ish. I got stuff I can do. Don't worry about it.
Okay.
Everything's fine. So I gotta kill this. Alright. So let me flip up. I'm gonna attack for 4. Kill this. Get my upgrade back in my hand. Then
Play it.
yes. I am gonna
I mean, you just use the power on all of us, right?
I'm gonna
You
all
have it.
systems go to ready myself. I'm gonna use Psychic Link to play this one. Then I'm gonna play this to all systems go to ready all my stuff. Which seems good. Now I'm gonna play Venom using everything. Well, I guess the best one to keep is the one that readies myself, right? Because that gives me 2 more of whatever I want, and I don't have to worry about whether it's attack or thwart. So,
Well, yeah, but you do also have limited stamina on your hand as well.
limitless stamina, yes. 1, 2, 3, 4. Oh, I see what you're saying. Well, it still doesn't matter. All right, so Venom's coming in with 4 counters. And again, just a reminder, hero response. After Venom enters play, place a sim counter on her for each resource generated by your sync ratio ability, which is using these to pay for stuff. +1 thwart and +1 attack. So Venom is now a 5/5. I wish there was a way to heal her. There are ways. I did not put them in my deck, unfortunately.
Do I make her an honorary X-Men?
Right? All right. So she's going to attack for 5
Probably on Magneto.
on Magneto. Lockjaw's going to take out Magneto.
Okay.
Then I think I'm going to use 2 power on all of us to bring Lockjaw back in.
Okay.
I'm going to use the sword to put in... Oh, not yet. I'm going to limitless stamina, which is just ready your hero if you have 14 or more permanent hit points, but not going to do that yet. All right, so Magneto's dead, and now I just thwarty thwart.
Wait. Before you kill Magneto, you can take an action.
Okay. Oh, you're going to search for the thing?
Before you do your turn. Yeah, do you want 2 cards?
Yeah, I mean, yes.
Or should I not bother with it? Alright.
I mean,
Before
hold
you
on.
turn, I play priority target.
So I have not brought Lockjaw back out. Lockjaw killed. So Lockjaw killed. I have not played Lockjaw just in case I draw something better. All right. So I get 2 cards.
Oh, do you play Spider-Man?
Wow. Well, do I play Spider-Man and Rapid Deploy, which removes 6 threat? Seems good, right?
I mean, you play Spider-Man because it readies an upgrade and you draw a card.
Yes. All right. So, wait. I don't have Web of Life and Destiny, so it doesn't matter. All right. So I don't have to do anything yet. All right. So now I'm just powering all of us to play Spider-Man. After you play Spider-Man from your hand, ready an upgrade you control. If it's tech, draw a card. I assume it's the thwarty one. Ready? And I get to draw a card. Okay. So now, again, I guess it doesn't matter because I'm going to use it to play for Rapid Deploy.
1 minute. Yep.
So we'll use one of these and we'll use Godslayer to Rapid Deploy, which removes 3 and 3 again. 1, 2, 3, and then 1, 2, 3 again. Remember how I was the attacky person?
Do you just dump hand cannon?
to limitless stamina?
No, I mean just like drop it on the table.
Oh yeah. And not limitless stamina? I think
Yeah.
so. I mean, that's the whole point of this.
It's basically for 2 threat, right?
Yeah.
Like you train for 2 threat.
Yeah, I mean, the whole point of this deck is to get this stuff on the table so I can get back to my better cards faster. So it makes sense. And I still thwart for 4 because I ready. So, thwart 2, ready, thwart 2 again. Now you're face down. Hold on. So I stay up. Oh, well, and I got Spider-Man over here, which can thwart
so you
for
should
1.
do something with Spider-Man.
Yeah, there's 0 reason not to thwart for 1. So I stay up, so I do have to draw 4 cards. I guess, do I draw my cards first? I still draw my hand first, I guess. Ooh, Mock, Ing, Bird, and Fury. All right. So 4 cards. No. Yes, Mojo. Yeah, Shadows. Everybody drink. And a Mojo. So 2 Mojo and Shadows and Gang Up. That seems pretty good cards to get rid of. So 2 threat over here. Sweet. All right, so we're going to add 3 threat to the main. Then we are going to, you are first player. So he's going to scheme for 3 plus another 1, so 4.
Man. I feel like I always get that boost, and it
Place
sucks
1 threat on each character you control. Well, this time I actually have as many allies as you do. So I'm chumping Spider-Man for this attack. This attack is going to go through the deck. We flip this thing over now, but we don't do that yet. We resolve the attack first. 0 boost, still kill Spider-Man. So basically we have 1 more time through the deck and then we lose. And we've killed him a grand total of 0 times. We've done a grand total of 4 damage.
4 damage. On your opening turn.
Yep. All right. Seems like it's time to change our focus here. What's this one? +1 hand size would have been much better a second ago when we were actually drawing cards. Although, to be fair, they don't get the +1 boost either. Oh, although they probably will, since... By the way, have you noticed we've gotten lots of minions? Oh no! That's terrible. That is terrible. This is side quest or fetch quest? Player order, search your deck for a card and put it into play. Oh my gosh. This is not good.
I think that's like kind of the problem right now is like
we've wasted too much time.
No, just all the minions from the modulars that we've picked.
I didn't pick them, by the way. I rolled a dice for them. 1 revealed. Heal 1 damage from each character you control. Place 2 threat on each character you control.
So that's 2.
So wait. So this gets healed. That's the good news. Then I get 2. And Spider over here gets 2.
Okay. Cool.
1 revealed. Choose a non-wild resource type. Then each player draws 2 cards. Each player must discard each card from their hand with the chosen resource type. I'm going to say energy. And I have 0 energy cards. Seems good.
I'll say physical. Each player does this, right?
Yep. And you have 1 card. That worked out. That was actually really good for us. Okay. Guess who's first?
You?
You're always first. All right. Let me Avengers Mansion to draw a card. Let me do this to flip 2 cards. Nope. And yup.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, so what's the plan here? Honestly, are we gonna try to kill, even bother trying to kill these things, or are we just going? I mean, there's no
You
way
can
we kill the
attack
boss.
this, right?
I don't have anything with a fist.
Wait, can you attack it?
I don't think so. It
Or
says it can
can
only
you?
take damage from cards with a printed fist.
You have Mockingbird printed fist.
Yep, I sure do. That's what I used to kill him last time I played against this modular. Yep.
Okay. Okay. So I'll do the easy thing. I'll heal for 1. I'd probably fetch priority target. I think. Can I kill Phoenix?
Can you kill Phoenix?
No.
Oh, retaliate. Oh, but you've got
Wait, can I?
no, because you got the extra life on her because of Uncanny X-Men.
Yeah, that's what I was saying. She would still be at.
She'd be at 1.
Yeah. Okay. Well, there's nothing I can do.
Victor says, "Forgot what night it was. Just a little late. Well, thanks for coming anyway, Victor. We're happy to have you. We're kind of nearing the end here, I think, although we've only removed 4 health from the boss this entire time. We are the last time through the deck, so...
So that's 3 damage, right? Go. Come back.
3 damage and tough gone?
Yep. And I take 1.
No. Isn't this ranged?
Oh, no. Ranged.
So what does it have on it?
This will do 12.
What'll do 12?
So I need to do 5. Ricochet. It's an energy card. So it does double. So that'd be 12.
That seems good. But you're going to take 2 in response? Is that true? Because it's 2 different attacks. And unfortunately, this is a wild, not a printed lightning. Wait. Do you want to see if there's something I can do as an action to do damage? There is not.
Can you?
No. Do I have an action that does damage?
Yeah, you have her signature cards. But you don't seem to have played any aggression events.
Listen, Terence. I have kept the threat well under control and gotten rid of like all your minions.
Oh, wait. Is this only tactics? It is only tactics. Okay. Probably play to me my X-Men. Get another ally out.
Go for it.
If there's an ally in the top 5.
Oh, come on. Yeah. But wouldn't be in play if it attacked the dragon, but it would do 4 damage. So the question is, do you want the 4 damage?
Yep.
So up to 7?
Yep. It's still alive.
No, retaliate.
Yeah, but he has 3 health.
Oh, yes, nice. Good call. I forgot about that.
So I just need to do 13, right?
Yeah, so if you hit it with Phoenix, then you wouldn't take the second retaliate. Or if you don't want Phoenix to take the retaliate.
I don't care about Phoenix.
That's up to 3, though, because of retaliate.
That's fine.
And that's up to 9.
Let's do it.
Ricochet beam. So it's 6 and 6. So you draw 6 cards, by the way.
Is this actually 2 separate attacks? That's 1 attack, right?
Deal 3 damage to an enemy. Deal 3 damage to an enemy with an upgrade. I feel like it's you resolve.
But like you don't like when it says like you increase the attack damage by 1, you only get to increase it to 7, not to 8.
But think about it this way: you could do those on separate targets, so it's got to be a separate attack, right? It wouldn't be adding to the damage. It's definitely 2 attacks. But you only take retaliate from the first one. Does that make sense? Because you could have done 3 here. I mean, you can't, obviously. But you could do 3 here and then 3 here. It's got to be 2 separate attacks. Does that make sense? I guess it's 1 attack that hits multiple things. I don't know. I see what you're saying, because it's under the same attack. Because some things do say make an attack and then make a separate attack. I mean, do you care about that 1 health that much? Is this, like, life or death here?
No.
Victor says, Santa brought a lot of minions to Terence for Christmas this year. I wonder if you were good. Does that mean you were good?
When Ricochet beam deals 3 damage once or 3 damage twice is irrelevant, only 1 attack is being made. Exploit weakness only affects the enemy once.
Boom. You don't take the damage. Okay.
But we get to draw 4 cards each.
Well, you draw 6.
Yep. It's part of the plan. Need answers, right?
I mean, look at my hand right now. I'm a character with a 4 hand size. A 3 hand size. Look at my hand right now. It's out of control.
The awesome thing is I can still play 1 more ally.
Oh, you can do a 4th ally? Yep, you may want to Utopia first.
Because I can play
Then
Utopia.
You can kill Phoenix.
I can't kill Phoenix, dude.
Utopia, dude.
Oh, yeah. That'd be great.
That's what I told you.
Oh, wait, but I already used Quartz Visor. So I can't even Optic Blast 1 more time.
I think you'll be okay.
Okay, so what do I do now?
Exploit weakness on the boss is what you do. Right? And we just freaking wail away. I mean, if you want to see...
I think Mirage is probably the right call here. Do I do Polaris? Yeah. Alright. Because Mirage can basically put a troll out of commission for 1 turn, right?
Sure. Yep. You're flipping down, obviously, then.
No, I flipped up this turn.
Oh. So wait, what does Polaris do?
And it stuns. Mirage will stun the enemy. So we can ignore it for 1 turn.
Stun. And I'm going to stun the boss. Or I could stun Avalanche, by the way. Instead of the boss. And Goblin's getting killed by whatever. So I will probably...
Are you killing Goblin?
I'll kill Goblin and stun Avalanche. How about that? Or would you rather me kill the boss? Or stun the boss? Do you have a preference? I don't think it matters, right? Because you're just chumping it anyway.
Yeah, I'm chumping it. 1...
Yeah, I'm killing Avalanche with
2...
Mockingbird for sure. Buckle my shoe?
What do I ready? Do I ready Beast?
No, you ready Phoenix to kill her, I thought.
No, I want her back in my hand next turn, I think. Because then I can pull full Optic Blast on my next turn. And then use it to just, like, nuke something.
Okay.
So I'll nuke Troll next turn, right? So... let's do this and ready probably Beast.
Okay.
Just because he has the best stat line out of all the people I have.
Okay, are you exploiting weakness on the boss so we can just plank a bunch of...
Yeah, that's what I'll do. So Mirage will stun Troll, so we can ignore him for a turn. Mirage will thwart for 2, right?
Are we thwarting? Or are you going to plink damage with your... I mean, should we do a full turn of exploiting weakness and just worry about threat next turn? If you're going to exploit weakness...
Threat's also the loss condition, right?
Sure.
and we just shuffled.
All right. I'm just saying, if you're putting exploit weakness on, every attack is 1 more damage for 1 round. What's that one?
All right, so Beast can attack for 3.
What's regroup again? When an ally is defeated by an enemy.
Basically, every allied jump now will come back to my hand.
So maybe we don't want to stun this turn, unfortunately.
Yeah, I don't think we want to stun the boss this turn.
Well, I mean, I've got Mockingbird. Do I not play Mockingbird? I mean, Mockingbird's the only thing that can kill this goblin. I don't have to kill the goblin this turn. I can let it kill one of your allies first. Although, I mean, I don't know that we want to be that silly. Well, Mockingbird can do 2 damage this turn and then kill a goblin next turn, right? And that'll just be another ally to bring to your hand. That's fine.
Yep. I think I'll just actually thwart for 2 here.
With who?
And let you go. Myself.
With yourself. Oh yeah, because you only attack for 1.
That was a pretty okay turn.
I mean,
for how terrible it looked going into it.
I like it. By the way, don't forget I have hand cannons too, so I could kill Avalanche next turn.
Alright, so 2 for me.
My question is, do I flip down? I guess not with 22 threat, but I don't know. We'll have to think about this. Oh, I'm going to be stunning a lot.
Spider Command seems real good this turn.
Which one? To do what?
Ready interface. Ready interface.
Sure.
Spider Command.
Yeah, and keep... So should I put hand cannon in too? Well, Fury's the first call, right? 1, 2, 3. Where's my defensive one? 4. Put Fury in and draw 3 cards, right? I mean... Or do I just do the damage?
No, it's on attack. Oh, yeah, from each attack.
Oh, okay. So the 4
it doesn't
damage would still be 4? I mean, it still might be worth it. It's so many effing cards.
So many cards, though. I mean, you put combat training in, you call it a day.
I mean, I don't call it a day. I'm not even close to done my turn. This could be a 27-hour turn. Do I put another hand cannon in? Probably, right? I definitely want to do this one, my web thing. I want to all systems go at some point also. Probably want a symbiote suit. I know you hate that, but still seems pretty good right now. I'm going to go 1, 2 to hand cannon. We're just going full nuke this turn. Do I symbiote suit right now?
I mean, if you're gonna do it, you do it at the beginning of the turn, or you exhaust.
Right. So that's 1. 2, 3, 4. 2, 3, 4. It's a symbiote suit. Alright, so my baseline attack is 4 now. Five, 6. So I'm attack for 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Plus the +1 is 11. That felt good, except for I'm still looking at his health being like 1,000,000, which is not great. So then I do this to all systems go, or do I just get rid of Mockingbird? Well, no, Mockingbird, we do need to get rid of Goblin eventually.
I think you just dump Trap, right?
No, I'm going to hit him with trap. That's 5 damage. And it's an attack, so it's 6 damage, right? So I do this to all systems go. I mean, that's better than the 4 damage I would do. And it gives us a stun also. And I just pay for it with this defensive garbage and this garbage, right? To web trap.
Sure.
So 6 damage and stun.
Sure.
Then I ready myself. So I could hit for 6 more, or 7 more, actually. Myself. Yeah, I mean, it makes sense, because I can thwart for 5 if we really need to thwart, right? So 7. So my base is 3. Or my base is 2. 3, 4, 5, 6. The 1 is 7. So down to 5 life. And then do I thwart, and flip down?
I mean, do you just keep going?
Or you want me to try to kill him? I mean, his stats go up. I say we wait till next turn.
I mean, but you still have more attacks, right?
Well, I could do Fury to get him real low. But I don't think... I mean, I think we thwart with Venom, right? That's 5 thwart. Because I'm going to add 4 if I flip down. Plus, well, the problem is he thwarts for 4 on the other side. Or are you saying, screw it, don't flip down? I'm just worried about this, right?
Sure.
Although if I flip down, that loses turns in other ways. So I guess I just stay up, right? The 4 cards aren't as bad as what'll happen if I flip down, which will be... We'll have to spend a lot of time worrying about that.
If you're not flipping down, you just push him, right? You just go to town.
Well, Venom can push him for sure. Venom will kill him then.
Wait, how much do you... If you ready, how much do you do? Don't you do 5
ready.
straight up?
I can't ready.
Oh, you used your ready thing already?
Yeah, I have a +2 thwart sitting around, but there's no way to make it work this turn. I mean, I made a lot of stuff work.
Fury hits
for
3, right? Then Fury hits for another 3, right?
So we flip him, and then Fury hits for 3. So he's at 25, 50, minus 3, 47. I mean, I feel like we did almost 47 that turn. Like, I know we didn't, but it was a lot.
Well, I'm going to take this back, but technically I guess it lasts.
Now, you can flip down and put it back on him next turn, before my turn. Although, I guess I don't have as much... We'll see if I get enough readies in here. I mean, I am drawing 57 cards. Oh, I get 10 more health, by the way. Now, you are going to get an extra encounter card, and I am sorry about that.
No, that's you. That is you. You're first player.
Oh, you're right. I do want to chump with Fury and have him die, though. Right?
He comes back to your hand.
So that way he comes back to my hand.
Back to your hand.
Yeah. So what is my hand size? It's a lot. So it's 3 normally, 4, 5 with this. By the way, have we been doing this extra one, or did that just... That hasn't come into play yet, right? The extra boost
Just
icon?
now, yeah. Yeah, because all these guys came out from literally the last villain phase.
Okay. Yep. All right. So I draw a hand size of 5. So 4 more. Oh.
What else do I even have?
So Powell Family says, "Hi guys, just got home. Hope everything's going well. It didn't look good, and it's still not looking great, but it's not looking terrible either." That's a lot of threat. Or that's not a lot of threat. But I know we threaded out 1 turn last time. Alright. So 1, 2, 3. And then first things first, they are going to attack me, but he is... Oh, I didn't do the 4 at the end of my turn. Sorry. 1, 2, 3, 4. All 4 of them get added.
No, I'm not sad to see Kraken go. Just put that out there.
What you don't? I mean, it was all minions almost. By the way, oh, gang up would have been fun for you.
Did
Dude.
I got all the high minions, didn't I? I've gotten both the dragon and the kraken.
Yeah.
Like I feel like the total health pool I have is actually like one side of Mojo.
By the way, I have 19 health in case you needed extra health. Yeah. Oh wait, Sunfire should be back in your hand. By the way, so you would have drawn one less. Alrighty, so where are we at?
Done for you.
I already had threat. Yep, stunned. Goes up here. Then he attacks you. I'm gonna chump for you.
Sure.
So it's 3 plus a boost of 2 more. So nothing. So Fury comes to my hand because of regroup.
I'll block Phoenix. One of my minions.
Oh well, hold on. This one goes away.
And you get to pick the order.
Oh, you do? It's not left or right?
Oh, your minions? Yes.
I always do left or right. Huh. Interesting.
Avalanche. Do I want Mirage back? Stun him again, so I just don't have to deal with him.
I mean, I also have a stun with Mockingbird. Although we could certainly stun the boss or whatever.
Do I just take Beast?
What's Beast give you?
Just get more resourcing?
I mean, that's your choice. I have a Thwip,
and
all systems go. Ghost Spider.
You don't have Thwip.
You know what I mean.
Yeah,
web trap, whatever. I have a damaging thing.
Take your 2 cards.
And a limitless stamina. Okay. Oh, you son of a dog. So 4
let's
plus...
get the plus on this.
Yes, so it's 5. And then we're going to reveal this. Move all threat from the character with the most threat on them to the main scheme.
So put another 8. So it's at 39.
Okay, that quickly escalated. Ah, new show. Get rid of this garbage.
Does that mean they get it now? Oh
no. It's they get tough. The word tough
keyword
on their card, which means when they come in play, they come in tough, which is great for us because we're about to play 57 allies. Although I don't know that it matters.
Is it attacking me? Sure.
Well, hold on. Is it just the villain?
Yes. Are you doing something else?
Do you want to lose your ally? Because he comes back to your hand, right?
Yeah, I mean, you said hold on like you had another play.
Well, no. I'm just wondering. I mean, I have way more health than you. You're chumping. If you weren't chumping, I would have potentially done something different. But no, if you're chumping, do that. You are stunned. Oh, wait. We had to reveal that one card. What was that card we were supposed to reveal?
This one. Remove all the threat. We already did it.
Oh.
We took your 8 threat and put it on here.
Yeah, you're right.
Put 2 more on, because my allies have now left. 41.
On main?
Yep.
I don't know that we can do 47 this turn.
Probably not.
I mean, I can do a lot. 47's a lot more than a lot. Oh, you have optical beam though, right?
No, I can get it.
You can get it. Can you get well, hold on. Let me do my stuff real quick. So I'm going to draw a card, which was a double resource. I'm going to do this to flip 2. Okay. So we've got some options.
I can get rid of my stun.
By the way, regroup's gone.
I'm going to... Sure.
And the upgrade on
play
them.
Beast. which allows me to search for
Utopia allows you to ready if
a
you
double
want
resource. Yeah, which I need for Optic Blast. What are you asking for? Exploit weakness?
to. I mean, if we can. The problem is you can't do it at the beginning of your turn, right? You can't do it unless you flip down. Or do you have a card that'll let you search for it or grab it?
I can grab a tactical.
And if you can grab a tactic, exploit weakness is the one, right? With all the allies we're about to have.
How big is this deck? 7? So I have 1 in my discard.
Because I think we can kill him with Tactical Genius this turn. With your Optical Blast, with my being able to do 10 bazillion damage, and readying at least 3 times, maybe 4. Because I have a all for 1 or whatever that lets me get ready. Plus I got an attack for 5, that would be 6. I think we can kill him.
So I'm going to play Phoenix to grab Optic. It's in here, right?
I mean,
Is that in
should
here?
be.
Do I not have it?
Did you not get it
I
back?
thought I used that the other.
You used it last turn. So it should have been on him.
No, the full Optic. I don't have it.
Oh, it's in your deck?
That is in my deck. Do I want to... Do I fish to draw it?
How do you draw cards?
I can draw cards with, by killing a minion
How do you do that?
with priority target. Basic priority target into it.
I mean, you wouldn't do this one, right? You do the one with less health. That's a tough call because it's 8 more damage, which is a lot, but you're wasting 5 to get 8, which when I say it that way makes it sound like it's not a waste.
I mean, I think I do it just because if I don't get it, Phoenix can still grab the other thing, right?
Oh, she can grab something else that does damage? She can grab the 3/3
No,
or
she
whatever.
should just grab. She can grab exploit. She can grab any Cyclops card, so I can grab exploit if I don't draw it, right?
Touche.
But I can't kill him. Huh. Can I?
Oh, because you'd have to use...
Because I can't use full Optic once I have... Okay.
So you changing your thought?
What do I have in my... Let's see.
Dan says, Happy Eve's Eve, everyone. Happy Eve's Eve to you. Dr. Han?
So I just play one more ally, I can kill him, right?
What does this get you?
Oh, wait, but I have to play second ally. Crap. Lily grab cheapest dude, Forge, sure.
Alright, so you just played Pixie. So now you're killing Pixie. Or no, it doesn't kill her. Wait,
No,
you gotta put damage on though. That's 1, that's 2. Did you get an upgrade for him or no? That was
Yeah,
a
I just
lot
grabbed
of
zero.
attacks to spend to kill that dude to draw 2 cards. Because all of those would have been +1 damage on the boss. Yeah, I don't know if that was worth it. Did you draw it?
No,
You did draw exploit.
but I have Exploit
I mean,
Weakness.
that's good. But you could have got that anyway with Phoenix. Can you put 2 exploit? Oh no, max 1.
That's 1.
Wait, you just spent a double resource.
Yeah.
I mean, it's got to be Phoenix, right? And just grab the other exploit weakness and just hold it for next turn in case we need it. Wait, you only have to pay 2 because of this, right?
Yep.
So you already paid a double resource, so you're good. Just to get it out of your hand at this point.
Sure.
All right, so exploit weakness on the boss.
Or yeah.
I mean,
16. We'll go through 8.
You can do 2 here, +4, +3.
Yep. Well, do I need it? Are you thwarting?
We'll see where we're at. You do your damage. If I need to thwart, I'll thwart. So how much is that? So it's 2, 4, and then 2 more.
3 more.
Wait, from where? Oh, you're right. 2 from you, 3 from her. Right. So 38. I mean, I'm hoping to kill him. Still. I don't know how likely it is, but I'm hoping. I do have a limitless stamina. Alright, we'll just see. So you're done?
Sure.
Sure. You don't sound convinced. So just the one?
There's one.
This late in the game. Although the more hurtful thing is losing all those cards. I mean, 41 still doesn't kill us. But yes, we'll see. Alright, so I have an all systems go. I got a limitless stamina. Alright, so let me start by web trapping for 5, right? Well, I should start by Nick Fearing, I guess, right? So it's 2, 3. Where's my defense one? I guess I don't need the thwart one either right now. 4 for Fury. Do I do the 4 damage? Or draw the 3 cards?
I mean, what cards? I mean, you're gonna shuffle your deck.
Right, that's what I'm saying. I don't know. Well, I should web trap first then, right? To get a possible chance to get it again. Alright, so hold on. Stop touching my deck. Alright. That sounded wrong in so many ways. Alright, so there's my thwart one. And I'll get rid of... I'll just do another one. I'll do this one for web trap. So 5 in stun. So it's 6 in stun. And then put Fury in. So it's 2, 3. I guess Ghost Spider goes 4. Let's put Fury in. Draw 3 cards. So it's 1. Oh, that's another all systems go. 2, 3. Yeah, I don't care about that card. I can't imagine them living through this. So that's 6 damage, right? 3 damage. What does Spider-Man let me do?
Ready and draw a card.
That seems good.
I mean, you don't ready, but ready's a tech upgrade.
Yes. Web of Life and Destiny. I don't know that I need that. Didn't I get a second All Systems Go? I thought I drew a second All Systems Go. Oh.
I think, I mean, you can use your plus attack and use Spider-Man to ready it.
Like, well, and then All Systems Go will ready everything too. All right, so I'm going to attack for 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. $11
with the +1.
11 with the +1. I mean, I can't imagine him living through this, right? Like, I have an All Systems Go still.
And then you play Spider-Man.
Yeah. So let's go ahead and spend 1, 2 to play Spider-Man, which readies the attack one.
Web float. Draw a card.
Lets me draw a card. Oh, this Spider-Man, which also seems good. Then I'm going to use this to ready myself. And then I attack for 2, 4, 5, 6, 7 again. Yeah. I mean, then All Systems Go. I limitless stamina. I mean, we're not going to draw this out, right? Like, he's real dead.
Sure.
So I'll use Spider-Man to All Systems Go to ready everything. Ready myself. Attack for the same 7. So that's it. Dude. I love Spider. So much damage. So much damage or thwart. That's the thing. You literally could do almost the same thing with thwarting. I mean, the only thing that is literally aggression in this deck was combat training. Well, I guess the hand cannons. Also. But do we want to go to our post-stream discussion?
Sure.
Alrighty. Boom, boom, boom. I haven't boom, boom, boomed in a while. I feel like all the joy has been gone lately, Terence.
Why?
I don't know. Like, I
don't like these X-Men.
No. I mean, look, hey, yeah, I went back to Spider and my boom, boom, boom's back. So who knows? Maybe it.
Yeah, apparently you don't like X-Men. That's
I mean,
you heard it here first.
Maybe that's it. Yeah, so let's talk. Do we want to talk about the game? Do we want to talk about? I mean, what were your thoughts about?
Should we talk about the game real quick?
Yeah, what were your thoughts about your deck? About the game?
I like my deck. It doesn't have necessarily like high hitting numbers. Like I did 1 Optic Blast that game. But I do like the choice in allies. There seem to be a lot more decisions that I think like a standard Cyclops deck.
Yeah.
I think Uncanny X-Men really makes you think about playing cards from your hand.
Yeah.
Which is kind of interesting because it goes against like the whole training upgrade kind of build that they were going for. I think before that came out with Storm's pack.
Yeah. I mean, it's just a different way to build, right? Which is great. I think that's one of the strengths of Marvel Champions is that there are many different ways to build a deck, and there's not just one. If you look at all the Cyclops decks I made, they're very different from the deck you made. I mean, there was obviously...
Yeah, I know that was a comment you had. You're just like, is it going to be similar to the one that you built?
Right, and it's
and
not.
probably is to
And
some degree.
well, I mean,
It
just
has Jet
Utopia
and
and
Utopia.
Cerebro and X-Jet. I'm still not sold on Cerebro, but it gets a card out of your deck, right? Like, I mean, all these one-cost
Well, I
upgrades.
mean, it actually is really good, right? Like, because if you're trying to fish for Phoenix, right? Like, imagine I got it early,
Yeah,
and I Phoenix at the bottom of my deck, and you have you have like those other psionics, right? Like, you can just be like, I want Phoenix, give it to me.
sure.
Like that is kind of nice.
Well,
And I think there's enough psionic allies that you can actually like find the exact ally you want.
by the way, Victor says the goat is creeping closer to Terence. So I think he's worried about the goat attacking you, Terence. Victor's just looking out for you, brother.
Well, you don't have eyes in the back of my head, so.
Yes, goat's getting closer.
But I think this is probably one of the best support upgrades. Like I felt like the Guardians
Sure.
one was kind of weak.
I don't remember what that one was.
It's when you play an upgrade on a Guardian, you draw a card.
I mean, it's
I was
not
playing
bad
around
if
with like a Star Lord X-Men deck with it because he gives all the allies Guardian, and then you want to play your like training upgrades.
yeah, that'd be fun.
But
Well, not only
it's a
that,
little
but
cheeky.
the spear's pretty ridiculously good too. You can give anybody the spear. The problem is how much does it cost for the
Yeah, but
X-Men one?
you have to be leadership though to play the support team card, right? So you can't get spear.
That's true, right? Because that's aggression. Does it work for anybody or just
but
for?
I think it's when you play, so you can't even like do the cheeky like,
Somebody else
oh
upgrades.
my friend will play like because you can imagine my friend is running like I'm running danger room and my friend has training upgrades that they can then put on my allies as I put them into play in alter ego or whatever.
Right.
Like I don't even think you can do that. So
Well, again, I think Danger Room is the one to me that is just weird because it makes you be alter ego, and Utopia means you have to be X-Men.
you just give yourself honorary guardian. It's like actually not that hard to solve that problem.
Or honorary X-Men.
Yeah, honorary X-Men. Yeah.
Oh, so even on
Then
alter ego, you'll have it, and you could
yeah.
ready yourself. I mean, but then you just heal yourself. So I don't know. Because Cerebro.
Well, it means you can also use X-Jet.
X-Jet, yeah. Which is, yeah, it's annoying. These two are like, no, really, you have to be an X-Men. And Cerebro and that other thing. I mean, we've talked about that too many times. Yeah, I don't want to keep going over it. But it's like so much anti-synergy in those cards. It's annoying.
Well, I mean, I feel like you say it's like it forces different deck building decisions, then you're just like, it's great that Uncanny X-Men goes against all the team training. I think it's like similar, right? It's like they're very different. Like it doesn't synergize at all whatsoever with the training things, right? Like
yeah,
it's like you want to cycle your like it's both it makes them cheaper but gives them an extra hit point, so they're now like it in some ways it's just like I really wanted to kill that ally but I actually can't. Right?
Yes.
Like
well, we found a way to do it because of Utopia. Found a way to ready and kill her.
Yeah, but it like it definitely like makes it harder to do some of that stuff. So it's like interesting.
Yeah, the hard part about the combo you were trying to pull off with Phoenix and Optic Blast is you almost have to hold the Optic Blast if you're near the end of your deck.
Yeah, and that's not like a hard tactical decision. But it I had to kill Kraken, I think.
Sure.
I think you just can't have that.
Well, and you did a ton of damage. I mean, we were doing a ton of damage early, but we literally killed the boss. All the damage but the 4 I did at the beginning of the game, we killed the boss in 2 turns. Legitimately. And we would have had 4 more damage this turn. No question about it. So we could have killed the boss in 2 turns with as built up as we got.
I know you don't play Field Commander, but I actually thought it was really good this game. Like, not MVP card, but it was really nice to...
Well, that last turn, think about it. I mean, it's +1 damage for every attack I did, which was quite a few.
Yep.
Because of...
But even a few of the, like, priority target things when you weren't first play... When I wasn't first player to set up some of those plays.
Yeah.
Like, it is... Like, I know a lot of people overlook Field Commander, and it's definitely not his strongest card in his kit, but I think in multiplayer it definitely is a lot better. If
Well,
you're
it gets
actually
it out
playing
of
this
his
game,
deck
right?
too. And I mean, that's the one thing that I keep coming back to. All of these cards, whether they're the best or not, getting them out of your deck so you can get to your best cards more frequently. I mean, that was the whole point of this deck here. Was just get as many cards out of my deck as possible, get as much draw as possible, so that way I can keep getting back to those signature 5 damage cards. I can keep getting back to those all systems
Yeah, I feel
go.
like if you're doing that though, I'd run like Justice.
Sure, I mean, but
You just run like 3 skilled investigators, like 0 cost. Like you get one, you get one.
sure.
Like 3 cards out of your deck.
I mean, I wasn't trying to do just that. Like, I wanted the plus damage. But yes, I think you're right. I think there's a very good justice build here with very
Oh, I
similar
mean, I have a
cards.
Spider Justice build that has not very similar cards necessarily, but you do like one way or another. Basically, it's like a one way or another Spider deck. Because it just getting early acceleration to get her stuff with one or another is just super. And I played in like 4-player,
Yeah.
right? Like a 4-player thing with, so the schemes were even super high. But like if you have enough board events, like you can definitely just like burn through threat, right?
Yeah, well, you don't even need them, again, with all the readying she has. And that's why I wanted limitless stamina. I'll be honest, I only used it once this game. But I would have used it here on this last turn. I mean, the point of having 3 is like you want it at the end of the game when you need it, right? Like, or you want it those turns you need that extra threat removal or whatever else. I had always prioritized putting stuff down, I feel like, but you know, it's a nice option to have, especially when you tend to have extra resources later in the game with her.
Yeah, I think the Justice build that I have is my favorite iteration of Spider, just because of one way or another. Just because it gets you online much faster.
Yeah. Yeah. Um, yeah, I mean, Spider can be frustrating, but between all systems go and because there are 3 of them that let you fetch cards, the only time I was really frustrated her was early on when I wasn't using all systems go to fetch upgrades. I think I was frustrated then. But you just have to use your first turn to get yourself fully kitted out. Because
Yeah.
without these upgrades, I mean, just as resources, if nothing else, like a 3-card hand size is real frustrating. And depending on the order they come out too, right? If you get Host Spider on turn 1, while it's great, it also kind of sucks. I'd much rather get my cheaper upgrades early with her, and that way I have resources to pay for Host Spider and stuff like that.
Yep.
So yeah, that's part of it too. But I know you don't love Symbiote Suit, but I mean the extra card draw when you have a 3-card hand size is pretty good. Plus 10 hit points obviously didn't matter, but plus 1 to your stat
Yeah.
line I do like with somebody who readies a lot, right? I don't think Symbiote Suit's good for everybody, but I think in a deck like this or Quicksilver where you're just constantly readying and not even, I mean, Captain America, yes, because you get 2 activations per turn, but I mean, Spider's getting 3-4 activations per turn pretty regularly. I think the plus 1 to your stats is a pretty big boost in that situation. Oh, Powell Family Farms says, good night, guys. Great stream. Merry Christmas. Merry Christmas to you as well. And thank you all for joining us. I know it's officially Christmas Eve now, so thank you everybody for joining us. I'm not signing off. I'm just thanking everybody because I just realized what time it is. Yeah, I don't know. I still love Spider. I really do think Spider's my new favorite. Not new favorite, but since she's come out,
You seem to really like Ultron heroes.
I do.
Which is like I think Iron Man and Black Panther were up there for you.
Iron Man, Black Panther. I mean, even War Machine. I thought War Machine was too good almost. That's part of the reason War Machine hasn't hit the table as much
like
for me.
War Machine is not very flexible.
I mean, he does what he does well. Like, he just plinks for 1,000,000 damage.
He's expensive. All his stuff's super expensive though. Like his upgrades are costly. They're not as impactful as Iron Man, you have to
You
flip
have to flip
down
down
to
every
like
turn with
use the
him once
bunker,
you get bunker.
and like his thwarting like sucks, like in true solo, he's
Oh,
definitely
no,
not
no,
one of
no,
my
no,
top
no.
picks.
But if you want somebody to just do damage and you have somebody that can deal with the threat that he's going to bring to the table, because he will. He really should be flipping down every turn.
Yeah, he just feels like a greedy hero, Like you basically need
He is
someone to
definitely
prop you on
greedy.
the back to like do that for you, right? Which is
Yep.
why like I have a hard time. I feel kind of like a jerk if I bring him to the table, Like it's like I need you to like cover all these things so I can excel like in the mid game, basically, right? Because he also like
Yeah.
needs to dump like if he doesn't have enough of that stuff up, right? Like he also doesn't block for crap either, right? Like like he gets the chassis for tough, but that requires him flipping.
Yeah.
I don't
I
know.
mean, he's flipping every turn.
I think I think he's fun to play, but he definitely demands, I think, a lot from the
Yes.
group.
I don't disagree with that.
Um,
Whereas I feel like...
which is funny 'cause I feel like I tend to gravitate towards heroes that aren't that.
Well, it's part of the reason I don't like
basically
Miss
opposite of
Marvel,
that.
right? Miss Marvel is not... she's the opposite of an Ultron. Or, whatever. Voltron hero. She, like... Although... she wants to build up her alter ego stuff, and she wants to build up stuff to play those events from her hands cheaper, so I guess she does. But turn 1, she's throwing out events right and left. Although, I'll be honest, I liked Wolverine, and he doesn't need any help. Like, turn 1, he's just...
I mean, you like him, to be fair, and I feel like Miss Marvel is a similar kind of archetype, but
As
different.
what?
Gamora.
I really like Gamora. But I like Gamora's flexibility. I like the fact that she... I feel like she is one of the heroes that you can build very strong thwart or attack, or
I mean, that's the same with Miss Marvel.
or down the middle. Yeah, I guess. I learned to appreciate the events a lot more using Gamora, for sure. Like, I have a Gamora deck I love. But it's mostly zero cost stuff, right? Because you just want attacks and thwarts. You don't care what they do, really. You just want stuff to, like, plink one off here, plink one off there. Like, and so a bunch of 0 and 1 cost cards, the more cards you play a turn, the more that triggers. So
I think Gamora's a faster hero to get set up. That's like her big strength over Miss Marvel, but I think Miss Marvel has a higher power curve for sure.
Yeah, no.
I mean, she just changes the equation on events, right? Like, being able to boost any event by 2, like, like, you just think about any aspect, right? Like, that changes the equation on Hard Knocks.
Yep.
Like, Hard Knocks is what, 4 damage? Tough. With Miss Marvel, that's now 6 damage and tough, right?
Yeah.
First hit, 2 damage to a minion when they first attack. That can now be 4 damage to a minion before they attack, right? Like,
and Gamora's
like,
once per phase too, so actually Gamora's not even as good. The more I think about it.
Yeah, and then like 1x1's like 2 damage if you kill. It's like 1 cost, 2 damage. If you kill that enemy, you get to do another 2 damage attack, which she can then also boost by another 2, right? So like,
wait, she boosts everyone? I thought she could only. I thought it was an exhaust to do that.
It's an exhaust, but that is a 2 deal damage in 1 attack card, so she boosts both instances of it.
Oh.
So like melee, like the first combo was like melee, which is 5 and 5, right? Because it's 3 damage, and
right.
The ruling was it does 5 and then another 5, and so 1x1 is a 1 cost that does 2, but now 4 with her, and if you kill something, then it is another 2 damage, which is then 4.
All right, that's pretty good.
So,
yeah.
Yeah, multitasking, same thing, right? Yeah, so.
I mean, I've certainly grown up on heroes that just... I love board states. Well, that's not always true, actually.
Are you like a Tableau gamer?
Keep track of everything.
Do you like Tableau games?
I do. But at the same time...
Tableau is like the like board state kind of thing, right?
I feel like I can do it better in this game because I've played it enough. In some games, it annoys me because I'm like, wait, what do these 5 cards do? And what do those 5 cards do? I think it's probably harder to follow a game where there is so much stuff going on the board. And they're certainly slower heroes. They maybe they suit my style to want to play a longer game. And I don't even want to play a longer game, but I just tend to play a longer game. I'm not sure if it's because I like these Voltron heroes that take so long to build up, or if it's because, or if I like or I have to play the longer game because I'm playing a Voltron. You know what I mean? I don't know if it's the chicken or the egg. The reason that
I don't know if you like to play longer games.
I don't.
You complain about the long games.
Yeah, I don't.
I think part of it is just like when you build up, you feel very powerful. You have a lot of decisions. You get to trigger and do a lot of things. And that's, I think, is always fun.
Yes.
And so if the game is too short, then you don't get the payout, right? Like you build up, but then if you never get the big turns, then it feels disappointing, right? It's like, oh, I killed the villain. Like imagine the villain was one stage, right? Like you would kill the villain by the time you've built up, basically, and you don't actually get to execute the combo, right?
This game, I felt super powerful those last 2 turns. Like, I know I didn't do a lot before then. I mean, I killed a bunch of minions to get to that point, and I feel like I removed a decent amount of threat throughout the game. I mean, there were turns I was definitely removing
it was
like
good.
12 threat.
I definitely felt my character was, I realized at a certain point, like you bring Spider and you're just like, if you don't enable Spider to get online and you don't like support that character, then what are you doing? Like, like that's kind of, I feel like she kind of demands that from a group a little bit. It's like with Iron Man, like, yes, you can let them plot along and eventually like get online, but if you can get them up there faster, then the game is just shorter, right? Like that is.
And maybe that was
that's how
the
those
problem.
Pokemon heroes are.
Maybe that was the problem we had when we were playing with Mary, is we didn't enable her enough. I kept stealing her resources, stuff like that. And so her hero felt very slow when she was playing Colossus. And that was probably my fault for not letting her get up to speed as fast. And not only letting her, but helping her get up to speed as fast as she could. Because I felt like she had some really cool clobbering turns, but like it took a while to get there. Whereas maybe we could have helped her get there faster. And I think, speaking of just having heroes that help you get there faster, Cyclops is great. Because he can let people draw 2 cards.
You say that as the person who played Cyclops when we were playing Mary.
And I never gave, you're right, I never gave it to her. Like I should have, but I never did. But, just, helps reduce the amount of damage that comes out, helps just with a lot of stuff. Lets you deal more damage when you are getting those cool, super cool turns. So, yeah, no, Cyclops is a good, empowering hero that lets other heroes feel cool, I feel like. They can get out X-Jet and let other people use it. They could get out Utopia and let other people use it. Because I don't feel like Cyclops needs a lot himself. You know what I mean? So he could do those things for other people as well.
Yeah, it was one of the reasons when you said you're going Spider, I was just like, yeah, I think I'll just stick with Cyclops, because I think he's I think you can get up and running. Like, I definitely have a lot of cards that you want out, but you don't need a lot of them to start doing things impactfully in the game.
Yeah.
And definitely the mental model I had was like, I just need to buy enough time for Spider to get online.
Yep.
Because we played some games at Gen Con where like actually all your upgrades were literally in the bottom half of your deck, and those games were like slogs, man.
Well, but I will say that I didn't use All Systems Go properly. You know what I mean? I was using it to like ready to upgrades, which is stupid. I should have just searched for another one and got it in play. You know what I mean?
It depends on what's the board state is though, right? Like,
and I also think I was searching for like Host Spider early instead of searching for Speed Metal Alloy, which seems like a crappy upgrade, and it kind of is, but it only costs 1 and it gives you a resource every turn. Like if you think about buying a resource, like putting in X-Jet for 1, hell yeah, you do that every time, right? And so that's what you're doing really when you put in Speed Metal Alloy. So I wasn't as good with the hero, and so I was making poor choices. I think one of the keys is get your cheapest upgrades in early, and use your all systems go to get them until you have at least like 4 of them on the board, and you really want to just pay for something expensive or do an all-out turn where you're attacking 50 times. But 3 all systems goes pretty good. Like between the 3 all systems goes and all the upgrades and Aunt May and Uncle Ben, like you should have something available, you know what I mean, early on to help you either pay for stuff and or get through your deck. And if you don't, you're just going to have to go alter ego more. You know? And draw those 2 extra cards until you know. Because that's still 6 cards if you're an alter ego. And you could do it 2 turns in a row. Right?
Yep.
You flip down 1 turn. Well, it's 5 cards, then 6. You flip down 1 card or turn, draw the 2 extra cards. Next turn, you draw 2 extra at the beginning of your turn. So, yeah, no, I love Spider. I thought we were talking about something earlier for a post-stream discussion. Oh, turn ordering. I know we've talked about this a lot, and saying I said I wish it was simultaneous. But something I think I realized I really like because of Field Commander, I like alternating turns.
Which you never played in our games.
Right. But even in a multiplayer game, like a 3 or 4 player game, it still doesn't make it alternating turns. What I mean by alternating turns is the same person always goes first. Meaning, you always go first, I always go second. You always go first, I always go second. Some of the things that happen in a 2-player game are you go, then I go, then the villain goes, then I go, then you go. So you're waiting for me to go twice and the villain to go once before you get your turn again. And then it works the exact opposite way. So it feels like there's a lot more downtime in a multiplayer game than there would be in a solo game. Whereas if it's you go, I go, villain goes, you go, I go, villain goes, it's a more steady pattern, if that makes sense.
Yeah, that does make sense. I mean, I do hate it in Aeon's End, the turn order.
Right,
like
because you could be first and then last. And if you think about it, let's think about a 3-player game, right? So if you're first, then the other player goes second, third, villain, then it's other player, you. So when you go first, you're the last in the next turn, and there's been a villain phase in between. So maybe that's why people feel like the game... I never thought about this before, but it does make the game feel longer. And it feels like there's a lot of downtime. Huh. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I do. I think by the nature of a lot of the stuff I play, I also like to have things that can be played on other people's turns.
Sure.
Like if you look at a lot of the decks I play, or, you know, like I play, like team building is really good, like I've highlighted before, because you can cheat stuff out of turn.
Yeah.
So I think like stuff like that can definitely help you be more engaged on other people's turns, because it opens up more options that aren't just like I have to wait, right? It's not like my turn is not I wait for everyone else to go and then I get to go for all my cards. It's like,
but I don't think most people think about that, and especially when they're teaching a new player, right? You certainly, and I think that's one of the negatives of simultaneous play as well, is for a new player, it's more confusing, like, as people are taking actions back and forth or whatever else. But I do think it would be nice if they could always go after the villain. It's like, all right, we just did all this villain stuff. Oh my God, can I just take my turn? Yes, go ahead and take your turn. You know what I mean? I wonder how much it would break the game to do that.
I think it just changes the weight of stuff like flipping down if you can choose the player order.
Not choosing, always have the same player go first. Not choosing. Now, it doesn't mean they have the first player marker, because obviously some things say first player marker or whatever. So just imagine a permanent order, but you're changing who the priority target is. Like, you know, who would normally get the first player marker is the priority target. But the order of play always stays the same. And again, this is clearly a variant.
I think it's like it would definitely be. It depends on probably the hero makeup of how much impactful that change would be.
I mean, because honestly, I know you think it would make a big difference, like as far as being able to play simultaneously. I really don't think it's that big of a deal. Yes, there's maybe twice a game where I care, but this game I never cared. And again, because you had Field Commander, so and you were the one that was going to put stuff out. But I think a lot of heroes don't really affect other heroes. What's going on?
I mean, I think that's not true at all. like, like just being able to coordinate on attacking a minion. Like, if I don't get to go first or you don't get to go first, it like it changes stuff, right? And it definitely has happened in games we've had.
Sure.
Clearing a scheme, clearing a minion, activations, like all those things matter.
But of the
Flipping up and
100 games we've 100 plus games we've probably played together, how many games do you think it really affected? You know what I mean?
Probably like 8%. Like, I think it's like pretty high. We
But
just like make a different
wait,
move.
8 or 80%?
80. Like, I think it's pretty high, but where there is at least a turn or two where it does impact the game. It's not like every turn, but it definitely comes up in the game.
You think it would break the game though? You think it would be that much easier? Yeah, even that 80% of the time it does affect stuff. Do you think it makes that much of a difference?
I think it makes a decent
think
amount of difference.
you think 80% of the time it makes a decent difference in the outcome of the game, like win or lose, whether we would win or lose? 80% of the games. I think that's way off. I think it's less.
I don't
than
know
10%
if I don't know if it's
games.
like it like changes if you win or lose. But it definitely has come up in probably 8% of our games.
Sure, but I think the number of times it matters is less than 10%, if I had to guess. Like, truly matters to the outcome of the game. And that's my point. But let's stick on the subject we're on today. Like, I do think having a fixed player order would even be better in my mind. Not that I think anything's wrong with the game. Don't get me wrong. I love the game. Obviously, it's my number one game of all time. I am frustrated by the fact that it is hard for me to get new players into the game, even as enthusiastic as I am about the game. You know what I mean? I find that unless I let them play solo, they get bored in the downtime. And I'm trying to figure out a way to lessen the downtime for new players.
How is that solved in other card games, though?
Well, I don't think you're doing as much in other card games. I think your turns here, because you have 6 new cards, 5 new cards every turn, and not only that, but maybe it's the heroes I choose too, right? So maybe I should be doing more Wolverine type heroes and heroes that are just fast and just event focused. That would certainly help, right? Because you're not doing, I'm doing this to do this to do this. Plus, it simplifies the decision for the players too. So maybe that's an on me situation where when teaching the game, I should go more event focused heroes, or at least my hero. But I also think their hero, because I think it simplifies the equation on their turn if they don't have 50 cards in front of them plus a handful of cards.
I think Spider-Man's one of the best intro heroes because of that. He doesn't require a lot of setup. Is fun to play. Is very event focused. For sure. Yeah, I mean, I think some of it. I don't know if a lot of games solve this well that have this much kind of interaction in your own board. I think just by the nature of it, like you can. I think if they want to have this kind of design space for player choice, it just can lead to longer turns.
I do think it would be solved by having a fixed player order. Not solved. I think it would be better by having a fixed player order. Player 1,
I think it
player
definitely,
2, villain.
Yeah,
player
I
1,
don't think
player
it
2,
solves
villain.
it. I think it can mitigate some of it. But
sure.
I mean, like, I still gonna hate it every time you take like 15 minutes to do your turn or whatever, right? Like,
yeah,
by you being like generic someone who takes a long time, right? Like,
you would hate it worse if I had 2 15-minute turns, right? in a row.
Yeah, but that's broken up by the villain, right? Like I still have to deal with the villain in between. It's not
Sure.
like it's like not as bad as Aeon's End, which is like Lily can't do anything on anyone else's turn. You know, like the villain, then like someone else goes, and then the villain goes again, and then like then I get to go. Like it's like way worse, right?
Well, and I'm not saying it's broken or a problem. I'm saying I think it is the biggest weakness of my favorite game, right? So this is like, I think it is a great game. How do we make it 5% better? And I do think it is, for me, it's the thing that makes me not want to play 4-player. Because again, 4-player, you go first, then you got to wait through everybody's turn and the villain phase. And then everybody's turn again, and then the villain phase again. Or not the villain phase, everybody's turn again. Before you get to go again. Because you go from first to last. We've tried to fix this in games we've designed by passing the first player marker counterclockwise and then having players go clockwise. But it doesn't really work because it's confusing. I think the best method I've seen is keeping the same first player. And not switching the first player. And again, you could still have a priority target marker, right? So anything that says first player does this, its target does this instead. You know what I mean? So
sure.
It wouldn't affect that portion of the game. And certainly you can set it up so like, somebody like a Cyclops would always be the first hero, right? And then they do things that would help everybody else. Or the first player is always the one that gets Maria Hill, so it makes Maria Hill better. Now, I do agree there are ways to game it if that was the way, but I don't think that's bad either, right? You increase the cost of Maria Hill by 1, and you just make it so that, if you knew that in the design space.
That makes her a worse solo card, though, right?
Sure. Absolutely. Or, they haven't done this yet, but why not she costs 1 per player? You know what I mean? And then everybody gets to draw a card. So, like, I don't know. I mean, there's a way.
Even better in solo. I think part of it is, like, it's also a mental problem to some degree. Like, I think depending on your play group, right? Like, there's people who love 4-player, and there's people who hate it because of the things you said. I think part of it is, like, it depends on how engaged you are, I think, and I think for new players, this is where it's the hardest because you can't be. Like, you're learning the game.
Right.
But it's just, like, how engaged are you? And it varied, like, even at Quantum Heroes, right? Like,
well, because people just
some
talk.
4-player groups are just way more engaging. Like, people are actually discussing what they're doing on their turns. And those are people who literally just, like, look at the cards, don't say anything, and just play stuff.
Yes.
And it's like it's just hard to even track what they're doing, right? So you're like, as a player sitting across the table, like, if they're not communicating, if there isn't discussion on that, like, it's hard to follow, right? Like, and I know in our games we actually talk a lot about, like, the turns we're playing.
Well, because we're so used to doing it on the stream, but ironically, we played with some of those guys that we know very well that are streamers, and they weren't great at discussing their turn always. They just assumed everybody knew what was going on. And it's so funny because they're so good at talking about it when they stream, but I guess they just don't want to do that, when they're live because they get so.
I'm sure they play not that way most of the time, right? Like, the stream is probably like some small fraction of how much they actually play the game in total.
Sure. Whereas
like,
for me, it's almost 100% of when I play the game. Ironically.
Right, well, you play a lot of other stuff. I think a lot of the content creators in Marvel, like, that's what they do.
Yes.
They only create content for Marvel, so, like,
sure.
They're tinkering, they're doing stuff in Marvel constantly outside of the game or outside the stream. But I think that makes a big difference too. Like, I don't know how much of that. Like, I'm curious. Like, does that bring more people in, even for new players? Is it just more challenging because you're just trying to learn your own stuff? But I wonder, like, bring more people in. Like the fun part of the discussions of co-op is what makes co-op fun, versus just like a multiplayer solo experience.
Yes.
And it is a very per group. I similar to probably like the alpha player problem, right? It's just like some games are great games and it's a design problem, like some games try to design out of that because that is a real problem for some groups, right? But like other groups don't have that problem, so they don't run into that problem with those designs.
Well, and
And I wonder if there's like a similar thing here.
I think our community doesn't have as much problem. I've played a lot, and look, there's games we've all alpha gamed before, right? Like, I'm sure, but the group either ignores you or they're down for it that night. Honestly, some nights I don't feel like thinking, and I want other people's help more than other nights. But some nights I think it's a good debate. I mean, you and I sometimes are that way where we'll debate what to play, and sometimes it's like we're on the same page. But I think it's nice to be able to point out something somebody else wasn't thinking about. It's like, oh, you could play Utopia first, and then you can ready that hero, and you can get rid of him, right? Like, that was just one example from today's game. But like, it's nice to be able to do that every once in a while. It's like, oh, cool. I mean, I don't know, unless you take offense to something like that. But I mean, everybody's sensitive sometimes or another, right? I'm sure there are nights where I'm like, all right, stop telling me what to do. But most times it doesn't bother me. Like, and I think it's cool because like, hey, I didn't see that. Good job. Like, I like that.
Yeah, well, for some people, it can just disrupt their thinking and thought process too. So it's like, if that is disruptive to you, it's not meant to be a slight. Like, people are different, right?
And my wife is one of those people, by the way. Definitely. And she doesn't care about winning or losing either. So it's even more interesting. She just wants to make her own choices, which is fine. She doesn't like the post-game discussion. She doesn't like a lot of the things that I do, ironically, when it comes to gaming. There's some of my favorite parts of gaming is talking about the game afterward and, discussing and working with people during the game and trying to come up with like a cool solution. So yes, people are definitely very different. And I have to remind myself every time I play with her that I have to act differently because she doesn't like the same things that I do.
Yeah. And some people just like the exploration, right? Like that's the enjoyment of the game.
Yep.
And they just want to be on that journey themselves to some degree. I do wonder, coming back to the kind of timing question, that I know a lot of people are sensitive to it. Like you go to BGG, people complain about the length of high player count games in this game pretty constantly, and some people love it. I think they're a small percentage. A lot of people don't like it. But I wonder if it is a similar, like, there are certain groups, like I know Mike, like, is definitely one of those people that is very sensitive to downtime.
Yep.
And I wonder if it obviously is a group dependent thing, but I wonder if it is like another similar thing where it's just like, it's maybe you're more sensitive to downtime than some other people.
Sure. But I think it might be too late, right? At this point of the game's design. But I do think that a minor tweak, like keeping the first person the same or having it more simultaneous, would help the downtime. I'm not going to say fix, because I don't know that it's broken, right? But I think it would help the downtime.
I also don't think even if you did consider it a broken design, it doesn't fix long turns or whatever, right? Which are probably the main culprit.
Like, well, simultaneous actions certainly would help.
Yeah, I think like simultaneous play solves it more than the turn order.
Yeah.
If like that's the main thing you're trying to solve. I mean, that being said, I remember our 5-player Hour of Need game. That game was just chaos, and I had no idea what anyone was doing.
Well,
what was happening as a new player. Yes. Speaking of a new player being thrown into a simultaneous game, that was a pretty unfriendly experience.
Yes. And I do think simultaneous, you have to start out non-simultaneous, like for your first game or so.
Yeah, we actually, when you and Mike sent this to Colin's house for like one of the early Con of the Rings, when it was like you got an early copy from Asmodee, FG.
Right.
Because of Lord of the Rings, we're just like, oh, we've all played it at Gen Con one time. We know the rules. I remember like Steve or Colin or someone suggested like we'll play simultaneous. The game will be faster. And I was like, great, like because we do that all the time in Lord of the Rings. And it was actually really hard to follow what was happening to some degree. Because,
are you talking about Marvel Champions?
Yeah, Marvel Champions. Because like one, we were new to the game. Like, even though we knew the rules and we knew how to play it, doesn't mean I knew all the cards at the time.
Yeah.
So it was actually very confusing. And two, I think one of the differences is that the phase compression in this game makes it significantly harder than it does in both in Arkham or Lord of the Rings because they split up the phases.
Sure.
I think you could much easier pull off simultaneous if like they split up the player phase into multiple distinct phases where you could only do a subset of things at a
I
time.
still think this is the
Then
best
it's
way
like,
to do it for this game. Honestly, in Lord of the Rings, it's so confusing, like those different phases to me, and then how you can.
that's because you
Sure.
don't play it enough. Like you don't know the rules like the back of your
Sure,
hand.
but I think this is easy. It's like one player does all their stuff, the next player does all their stuff, and again, that's an argument against simultaneous.
That's what they designed for,
Yeah.
right? Like very explicitly.
And that, you know, and it's not like you do that much stuff on most turns. It's really, there's like, you know, those last two turns, my turns were much longer than a normal turn. And I think yours too, as you're planning out, like, okay, which allies do I want to play? Well, you know, I'm going to kill this guy first so I can try to draw my optic blast and do this. And so I do think that some turns are just going to be longer than others. And especially late game turns are going to be longer than others. But at that point, you should be fully invested enough that it doesn't matter anyway. So I guess it does scale well. Like your first couple turns are pretty quick normally for most players. And especially if you do stuff like actions out of turn, like on other people's turns. Now, again, hard for new players to do. But like if I draw my two cards, even if I'm not first player, while it's your turn, now I have my full hand of cards. You know, like I was doing later in this game. I was doing my mansion right at the beginning of your turn. I was doing my May and Ben at the beginning of your turn. That way I had my full hand of cards and I knew what options I had on my turn. And you knew what options I had too. That helps inform both of our decisions.
Yep. I will say I think this is I do think the player phase in Lord of the Rings does a much better job for higher player counts.
Yes.
Because it is a check-in point to like keep players engaged constantly throughout the turn. And so it splits up the like your ginormous turn that might take like 10 minutes to do.
Yeah.
By you I mean anyone, right? Like
Of
I
course.
had long turns too, right? And I think like limiting the things and the fact that you have to do like 3 to 4 things every turn in Lord of the Rings makes it significantly easier to kind of break off, do your thing, come back together, do the next thing, come back together, and there's like forced discussion points where I think this lends itself more to like being more isolated if you don't want to be engaged, you know?
Yes.
Like you don't have to be. Whereas in Lord of the Rings, it's like everyone has to quest. So like there's a discussion point and like what does everyone bring to the table for this quest, right? And you know, like who's gonna deal with combat? How do we divvy up the enemies, etc. Like
Do you
there are those
find
forced discussions.
do you find though that becomes a stagnant discussion later in Lord of the Rings games? Like you're gonna quest with the same
Yes,
heroes most
it
turns,
depends.
right?
It's like yes and no, right? Because like you have the thing where like Terence was watching the football game while we were playing, and
Yeah.
he literally did the same thing every turn. You can definitely do that, but I definitely find like yeah, like you might quest with the same stuff every turn, but like how combat's handled, which is you know a phase afterwards.
Oh no,
Is different, right?
that's certainly not going to be stagnant. That I find more like Marvel Champions, right? But Marvel Champions, and maybe it's the same in Lord of the Rings, and I just don't know. I feel like every turn's a different puzzle based on what's going on the board. And if nothing's going on, then you're going to focus on the villain usually. But I feel like the cards that come out when it's not your turn become the puzzle to solve the next turn. How do we deal with these things? And should we deal with these things? And I think that might be a weakness of yours and mine. Like if we're going to play in a tournament or whatever else, I don't know how they would do it, but you know, least number of turns or whatever. I think you and I maybe focus on the not losing sometimes more than we focus on the winning.
Well, to be fair, we also just lost last week.
Yes, but
Uh,
but only when excruciating circumstances happened, right? I mean, we literally drew 3 cards that made us scheme, all with 3 and 4 boosts. I mean, like, we were in a much safer spot last week than we were this week when we lost. You know what I mean?
yeah.
Like, I mean, that was just what it was. You know, like,
I think it's like you said that we misplayed it because I think we shuffled the deck, and so what should have happened? We should have gotten 3 cards from the
from that
set
modular,
and
yeah,
not advances.
yeah. So this is very interesting environment when it stopped. I've never seen a card like this before. At the start of step 3 of the villain phase, deal encounter cards randomly. Choose one set aside modular set and reveal its show environment. You reveal it, and then again, depending on how you read these show environments, it says when revealed from the encounter deck, it gains surge. So it should not gain surge, first of all, from my understanding, because you're doing it from out of play. It does say reveal it, but it hasn't yet entered the encounter deck, from my understanding. So shuffle the rest of the modular set and place it on top of the encounter deck. So you're placing it on top, so you're just going to draw cards from that modular set. I think we shuffled it in last time. I'm pretty sure
we did because we got advances in Mojo cards.
Right. So which should never happen when this triggers.
Yeah, so I think we would have won last week. It's fine. Live and learn.
But it's a tricky thing with this one, right? Because it's not intuitive. It's
I mean, I think this narrow pack is tricky. Like, there's just you have to read it to the letter, right? There's a lot of text on these cards.
Yeah.
I actually really like this design, to be honest. Like, it's really cool because it forces
you to deal with the bad stuff from the...
Yeah, exactly. You get that trigger of the setting with, like, I think one of the downsides of us misplaying it is that you get this environment out, but it doesn't feel super impactful.
And I think we said last week, or you said last week, you felt like Mission 2 did it better than this one because you always had an environment in play, so you're always getting those effects. Well, if we had played this one right, where you put it on top, then we would have felt it more. Because you're getting 2 for the first player, plus 1 per player. So you're getting most of the environment, of this specific encounter set out right away when you do this. Even in a 2-player game.
I still will hold. I think the second scenario does it better, but I think this does a decent job. But obviously, it doesn't impact the first modular set.
Well, except it does, though, and here's why. Because you were dealing with it for an entire run through the deck. So you will see every environment card. Oh, I guess
kind of.
Well,
I say that
they could be boosts.
They can be boosts, and you also get the discard, right?
Well, so, which is a lot, right? So actually,
it's a lot. So like, it's
actually quite a bit now that I think about it. Yeah. So it's only 1/6 per player turn, because you got 1 boost card, you get 1 encounter card, and 4 cards discarded. So on average, 1/6 of the cards you are going to see as encounter cards the first time through.
Yeah, so I think it's hit or miss.
Things that change it, of course, but
for like the first one for sure, and I think Spiral definitely does not have that problem. That's a unique Mojo problem, but like Wheel of Genres, I think makes up for on the second and third, or basically everything after the first, depending on your player count, right?
Well, right, because you're getting 2 of them right away, and then you draw your encounter cards. That's another at least.
But in some ways, I find it's actually very oppressive too.
Yep.
Which I think is part of that difficulty. Like, I got all those minions because of this, right? Like,
yep.
I got Kraken because of it. Even though I only got 1 minion, you got 2 minions. One of them went away, like,
just to try to summon Kraken. Yep.
Yeah, and then I killed one of yours, and you're left with 1 wolf pack.
Well, you know which one's tough. So I did play this solo yesterday. So by the way, my spider deck worked fine solo yesterday. Which one did I have? Which is the one with all the obligations? Crime, maybe? No. Well, it's not fantasy. Horror? No.
No, we played horror, so it'd be sitcom.
Yeah, it's sitcom, I think. Yeah. So, I mean, you want to talk about some bullcrap? Get 3 of these obligations. Now, thankfully, it was like going into the last turn of the game. But holy moly. You know, I mean, you're going to be alter ego, but a lot of them require you to exhaust your hero to get rid of. So,
That's true of almost every alter ego, though.
well, that's what I'm saying. But you're getting 3 at once, right? The first player is getting 3.
You got to pick. You got to pick which one.
Yeah, and they're all got an acceleration icon on them, right? So you're getting 3 things with acceleration icons for the most part. Not always. They're not all, alter ego to get rid of, but most actually they all are. Yeah, they are literally all that. And you get this one that gives you +1 card draw, and it's got a stupid icon on it. Yeah, it's a little oppressive with sitcom. I'll be honest. But again, thankfully I won the game that turn anyway, the turn that it came out. But
if you couldn't kill him that turn, would that have been like a loss for you?
What was that?
If you couldn't kill that turn, would that have pushed it?
It would have been tough, right? Because
would you have read out?
Maybe. I mean,
I feel like in solo, 25 is not that, for how oppressive his scheming is. It's not that.
Well, because you think about it, to get rid of those acceleration icons, you have to flip down. But when you flip down, he's going to scheme, and he's scheming at 4.
But it also puts whatever crap you have on here back on there.
Yep. Yeah. So it's almost not worth it. You almost have to just deal with those 4 obligations. But
this looks like a race condition. Like, you got to race at that point.
Yeah, but I mean, I lost all my supports. That was one of them, which wasn't the worst. I mean, you see this deck; it's mostly upgrades. If it was upgrades, oh my god, forget it. I had the one with the upgrades too, though. There is an upgrade one. What is it?
Yeah, but you still can exhaust them for resources, can't you?
This one.
The cost doesn't matter at the end of the game.
Well, yeah, the cost to play upgrades is increased by 2, but you have to have more upgrades in your discard pile than in play. Look how many upgrades I have in play. It was like, yeah,
but you don't care. You're not playing any upgrades at that point.
No, but it had an acceleration icon on it because of this stupid thing, right? So like, it's not like it didn't matter. Now I agree, some of these won't matter without that. Like this one. What is it? It's just Insight 3, right? So literally the acceleration is the only... Well, and when you look up a rule, you're confused, but like whatever, nobody's... I mean, this is just oppressive to new players is all that is.
Yeah.
And you just have somebody else look up the rule if you're really like...
Do you find that... So I actually think this scheme mechanic that he has with the thing on the players is a little more fiddly.
What do you mean?
Than say like what's his name? Black Widow's nemesis, Taskmaster. I think this is like kind of a different take on a similar kind of, not mechanic, but like idea it's trying to go behind, of just like punish you for flipping to some degree.
Which one? Oh, this? He anti-punishes you for flipping.
Yeah. Not the discard, but...
He anti-punishes you for flipping. What are you talking about? You don't discard the 5 cards. Oh, crap. Did we switch to 5? Oh, we never had to do it. You had to do it. I think you only did 4. Oh, well. We would add 1 more.
No, I just mean like the threat. Like, the threat is oppressive. Like, subtracting the timing mechanic, the threat is oppressive from flipping as well. Like,
yeah, I mean, you're damned if you do, you're damned if you don't. That's really what they've done here.
Yeah.
Yeah, so we cheated a little. Because you didn't do 5 cards, you did 4. It was Mojo anyway. Boom. We didn't cheat. Although that would have put it down to 10 cards. I mean, we didn't think we had a problem. Like, when there were 30 cards.
I thought we had a problem.
Well,
it was 12. It was like 12 cards or something when I looked at it.
Well, it was 20 cards. It was 30 cards at the beginning of the... Like, we did not hurt him till we were through the deck twice. And then we're like, uh-oh, Mojo only has 4 damage. Like, what are we going to do here?
Well, that was also the turn that all this crap got dumped in my face, so that was fun.
Well, and honestly, you had that card that lets you bring allies back to your hand that got killed that turn, so it didn't even hurt us. It almost helped us.
Kind of.
Well, I mean, it lets you trigger your one revealed effects again, right? I mean, and you played allies pretty cheaply. I didn't, but it let me play Nick Fury back-to-back turns, which normally you don't get to do.
Free Group is one of the best cards in the game. For 1 cost, so good.
Yeah, I mean, you still have to pay for the allies again. It's not, like, nothing, but certainly not bad.
I mean, if you paid for that ally the first time, you're probably willing to pay for it the second time, potentially, right? Like,
well, if you can. I mean, you've got to set up first, right? Like, with this setup, heck yeah.
Well, I mean, like, even with this for you, right? Like, Nick Fury comes back to your hand. You paid for him the turn before. So, like, maybe you don't have Empowering All of Us or whatever that made him cheap the first turn, but, like, there's a possibility you didn't have any of that stuff, too, and you still paid for him, right? Like,
Yeah.
You know, like, it's not like it, unlike the X-Men one, it's not like it takes a card from your hand. It's an additional card that comes back to your hand.
Yes, that's
like
true.
You pick your whole hand, and now you have a +1 card. Like, okay, like, still really good, right? Like, it's the option, and if not, it's a resource.
Yeah. Oh, of course. Well,
for one cost.
It's not 1 though. It's 2 cards. Right. I get. It's 1 cost, but it's 2 cards. I'm trying to think.
That's just so cheap for how good that effect is, I think.
Well, sure. If you're playing the ally again, I agree. Getting him for a resource, it's kind of a weak sauce, like, because you're paying 2 resources to get. I mean, depending on how many allies you
it's
have.
like that's just thinking about in a solo box. Like, it.
Well, right. For everyone, it's
a
ridiculous.
1 cost for the entire table.
Yeah, that's ridiculous.
Nuts, right?
4-player, it's broken almost.
Like, you imagine,
and that's what
you
I'm
run
saying.
That
with
like Drax or someone, you know, who,
yeah,
like, basically is like, come at me, bro. And you're just like, I will throw this ally in front of you. Now it comes back to my hand. Let me play it again.
Well, and that's the thing, right? Like, that's why I'm saying, like, you're worried about how simultaneous would screw up, like, some cards. Like, there are cards like this that are already, like, screwed up by player count and stuff like that.
Well, I mean, simultaneous does make this even better.
I mean, kind of.
I can play allies simultaneously. I can kill them off. I can, you know.
No. But this is only by enemy attacks, so not really. The only way it's a little bit better.
There's enough cards now in the card pool that can force an enemy to attack you.
There aren't that many cards, but yes, it is a little bit better because of that. I mean, come on. The little bit better that provides you for those specific situations is not nearly as bad as the much better it provides you in a 4-player game when everybody's running allies. Right? Like, I mean, like, that is a much bigger difference than being able to force attacks like once or twice. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know. For me, it's not even close. The effect on the overall game state. I mean, it's like Maria Hill. Yes, Maria Hill's way better in multiplayer games, but she's still freaking good in single-player games. Even if the last person does it, it still lets you cycle your deck. So, yes, is it better if we could play simultaneous and play heroes out of turn? Of course it is. But it's still pretty stinking good, even when you can't do that in multiplayer games.
I mean, I definitely have held... I've played in plenty of games where people have held Maria Hill because they're the last player.
But then you're second to last player the next turn, so who cares? That doesn't even matter
if you're the
that
last
much.
Player, you're the first player next turn.
Are you? No, it's the second player that's 1, 2, 3, then 1, 2, 3. You're second to last next turn, and then, you know what I mean? Think about it, right? First player, second player, third player. This is the third player. I am the second player the next time. And they're...
Yeah. At that point, it's like 50%.
Well, right, in a 2-player game.
No, I just
or
mean
in a 4-player game.
Percent more people get to use that card now.
Well, sure. Yeah, no, it's sometimes worth holding, but it's also not bad to draw the card and then potentially discard it. You know, it's like a free mulligan sometimes. So, I mean, certainly always going to be better to just get the card when you want to play it, but anyway, all right. Well, I think we've discussed a lot of good stuff tonight. So, yeah, let's change the player order. Let's do it, Fantasy Flight. Where you at?
I feel like this is like your favorite topic to talk about Marvel Champions because it comes up constantly.
Because it is the biggest flaw of the game. And again, flaw is a general term, or a whatever, because I still love the game, but I am not such a big fanboy that I don't think there's ever any problems with the game. I truly think if they could figure out a way to make higher player count work better and to make it more interactive on players' turns, it would be better. I would happily sacrifice any minor tactical advantage to make it more simultaneous. However that would end up looking. You know what I mean? Or at least more consistent player turns. Something. You know, where the downtime isn't as much. Anything to fix the downtime would be a pro for me. I mean, unless you take away all the strategy game, obviously. Like, nobody wants that.
I think we just need to ban this topic because it keeps coming up. And there's nothing new that's ever said in it.
That's not true. I feel like we said a lot new today. Are you kidding me?
Kind of. I mean, we talked about the timing, and then you get back to simultaneous every time. It's like you can't let it go, man.
I can't let it go. Steve says, I've always enjoyed my attempts at simultaneous plays in Champions. See? This is just a Terence thing. And look, people play the game the way they want to, so like...
I mean, I'm just playing the game by the rules as written. Raw. I have plenty of other complaints that are actually about game design and stuff that aren't about timing, but...
Well, but what is the biggest complaint? You said it yourself, that you see on Board Game Geek and everywhere else about the game. It's the length.
I think the biggest complaint I see is like stuff like the definition of you and...
that is if you are a... I'm talking about... That does not prevent new players from getting into the game. There is zero new players that say, what does you mean when they first play? Like, I mean, you got to be real into Marvel Champions for that to matter to you.
No, I mean, like, it's literally plastered everywhere in the card pool. Like, what does you mean? Like, when it says you, like, it's not clear what they mean. Like, I feel like that was one of their biggest mistakes in the early game design.
Sure. I feel like they're getting better with it as it goes along.
By just not using the word you.
Well, right.
No, I have a lot of like just like rules and other things of just like how they've done just like timing windows on stuff or like things being unclear.
If it was simultaneous, it wouldn't matter. Oh, no, I see what you're saying. No, yeah, like the I think one of the biggest culprits of this is Shadowcat with her attack defense stuff. Like, when do you flip? When does...
Yeah, I think they've clarified some of that stuff, but there's a lot of like kind of just like open questions around like when stuff comes up. We've talked about it, right? It's like it really pauses the game and just like when it says, you know, just like the question today, it's just like when it says attack, is it one attack? Is deal 3 attack mean it's an attack? Like, I definitely have like lots of... I feel like there's a lot of fuzziness around some of the tightness in the rule set.
Sure.
Which are...
And we've played probably over 1,000 games combined. Right?
Also, we've played that rule probably both ways.
Well, and because I think it's different on different cards. There are definitely some cards that say make a 1 attack, a 2 attack, and a 3 attack. The Black Widow card. Those are definitely 3 different attacks.
Yeah, right? and in the course of the game, probably like one of the biggest ones, just like how they've changed the defense rolling like 2 or 3 times at this point, and it like wholly changes both how and the value of lots of cards in the card pool.
But I don't think a new player, all these things you're talking about, I don't think a new player is going to know enough or care enough about that. I mean, yeah, that does slow down gameplay, right? Looking up rules, stuff like that. And again, if we've
Well,
played a
especially
thousand
when like the
games,
printed rulebook you have like doesn't tell you how to play it, or uh,
yeah. But I also think those are like, it's almost like Magic's 1,000-page rulebook, right? Like, that's for tournament players. I feel like we're getting to tournament play rules. Like, I think most people are going to play it like however they want to play it. And then, I don't know. I'm a rule stickler, so for me, it's really hard to do that. But I don't think a lot of people are. I mean, look at the, like, Sadler Brothers games. People love those games. And I feel like there's a million rules
yeah,
clarifications
we're
that they're
just we're just not gonna go there, man. We'll be here
well,
all night.
or Plaid Hat games, right? Like, look at half of their games. Like, people love Mice vs. Mystics or Mice and Mystics. I found that game unplayable because half the rules aren't ever explained. And when you talk to the designer, he's like, "Yeah, just play it however you want. It's supposed to be for fun." I'm like, "Okay, that's not fun for me."
To be fair, they have also said that here. I mean,
Yeah.
there's I guess like as a like the obvious one for Wolverine, just like when it says permanent, does it start out in play? What happens when you draw in your hand? And you're just like, I'm just gonna side roll, right? Like there's just a lot of kind of like, I think like, I guess like
Well, that's
unclear
just the
ruling.
stupidity with whatever. Like, if it's permanent, it starts in play. Period. Step one, before you even pick your deck up, put your permanents in play. Right? Like, I mean, that's just stupid. I don't know. Like,
Yeah, I mean, I guess if you go to BG, there is a lot of like timing and other questions, and these
which
aren't like
which also means
people
it's not part of your
being
40 card deck. Like, you need a 40 card deck plus those cards, right? Like, I mean, that's all just obvious to me. If it's permanent, it's always in play. That means it starts in the play at the beginning of the game. I know that's not how it's ruled right now, technically, but that's just dumb. That's so easy to fix. Like, that's what I'm talking about. Like, that's an easy thing to fix. That shouldn't, like, a new player, they look at that card, oh, permanent. It starts in play. Like, fine. Like, they get it. You know what I mean? It's people that are digging into the rules that have a problem with stuff like that. The length of the game is something that's going to bother somebody the first time they play it. Because it's going to be even longer for them. Because they don't know what they're doing.
Yeah, I mean, you say like people don't ask these rules questions and things, but if you just go to the rulings forum, just like scrolling through BGG, there are so many questions about you and stuff like that, like just from the early years. Like, I think there's a lot of these kind of like issues with just like the game, right? And they might even outpace the number of posts about the length of the game, like on
Steve
BGG.
Steve makes a very good point. He says the different villain stages have been the biggest issue I've observed for new players. I agree, actually. I've seen very often that after defeating the first stage, the first time players assume victory. I suspect that it's due with how long the game takes to get to defeating the first stage, and that explanation may be forgotten. I do agree with that because we know that. I mean, we saw it today. How long did it take to kill the first stage? And then 2 seconds later, we killed the second stage. New players think it's going to take equally long to defeat the second stage that it took to defeat the first stage. So I think that does lead to frustration. I mean, I may start teaching the game on that one mode I never play, where you just beat one stage and you're done.
Skirmish or whatever it's called.
Skirmish. Yeah, I mean, I think that's probably the best way to teach the game. And they probably should even recommend your first couple times playing, you play it that way. I do think that would help. Because it is like 80% of the way done anyway when you beat the first stage. For most villains. Not every villain, of course.
Only if you play a build deck.
That's true. That's true, because I've
I
definitely
mean, is this a you problem?
This might be a me problem. That's true.
I mean, I think that's why Wolverine's so good for you.
Wolverine was very good for me. That is for sure. I have never played the game as fast as I have with Wolverine. So if you want to play a quick game, you want to play a quick game with me? Give me Wolverine at a con. I'll even play as precon. I don't care.
I feel
His
like
precon's great.
I'm curious. Like, does some of those issues like that go away if you hand Wolverine? If you play Wolverine, you hand like similar kind of decks out. Like, I'm curious. Like, if you actually did that, how much of some of these complaints would be mitigated. I don't think it solves them, but like would mitigate some of those issues for early plays.
Oh, sure. I mean, well, but you want them to kill the villain and do most of the damage, the new player. That's one thing that I've definitely observed. They want to do the cool stuff, right? So you really just need to be a justice and like or protection, like hand them the keys to the car.
All the decks I play.
Right. And then like hand them the keys to the car and give them Wolverine and let them just like, I do 18 damage turn 1. What? Okay. Go for it. And if they're a build-up player, give them this spider deck that I just played today. Holy crap. You saw how much damage it was doing at the end. Like, it's ridiculous. And they don't care about Symbiote Suit giving them an extra encounter card or giving you the extra encounter card. Like, go for it.
That's a you problem.
That's a you problem.
Nice.
I drew the only extra encounter card we had, by the way. So it was fine. Anyway, all right, Terence. Well, we've gone an hour, I think, on our discussion tonight.
Like back in the old days.
I mean, it was good. I had energy today. That's why. I didn't work today. Usually, it's the end of a long work week. I'm exhausted. I mean, I've yawned a couple times tonight just because I'm a yawner. But no, I think it was good. Did we get anywhere with our discussion? Of course not. Why would we? Like, what fun would that be? The fun of a discussion is to have a discussion.
Discuss?
Yeah. So, man, I had so many plans to get so many videos done over this, like, today and tomorrow, and, like, losing power today. And I'm glad I did what I did, spending time with my family. It was a lot of fun watching. By the way, have you seen Top Gun Maverick?
What breaks are for. I have. It's great.
It is awesome. So I saw it on a plane. I actually saw it on...
It's less good on a plane, you know.
I thought it was... Well, I watched it on my phone on a plane, too. like...
Well, I just mean, like, I feel like plane quality stuff, it just, like, it's never the same, you know?
Oh, it was fine. The problem I had was it was, like, an hour and a half flight. And so I didn't get to finish the movie. And then, for whatever reason, I didn't get... Maybe I discovered it on the way back and not on the way there or whatever. Bottom line is, it took me months to see the second half. And I was just on another flight, and I was like, oh, yeah, I never saw the end of this one. And so, like, I got to see the end later. But, no, it was... I liked Top Gun a lot, the first movie. But after watching this, I don't even want to watch the first one again. This one was so much better, in my mind, anyway. So, there you go. There's some non-Marvel talk at the end of our stream. All right, Terence. Great playing with you as always. Next Friday is what, the 30th?
It is.
Yeah, so we'll see about next Friday. If we start late, we start late. My daughter's got a hockey clinic that night. I think it ends at 7:45, and it's an hour away. So that's like I get home at 9. If we do, we'll probably play next Friday, but we may have to start late, if you don't mind. We'll plan for normal starting time, but if I'm home late, like, just subscribe, hit the notification button. That way you know when we actually start. Sound good? And Terence, I will keep you up to date. I'll as I'm having my day.
Okay. Yeah, I don't know what my plans are. I know my sister's in town, but I just don't know what is going on. So, I guess we'll play it by ear.
Yeah. Worst case scenario, I'll play something solo. You guys get to see me play a deck for the first time. Maybe we'll have Terence give me a challenge. Like, Peter.
Give you a challenge?
Yeah, like, if you're not available to play, say, Peter, build a Spider-Man protection deck and take it against Ronin or something. I mean, try not to kill me too bad, but, like, you know what I mean? Like,
I mean, I was gonna suggest while we wait. I mean, this is gonna be next week. But I think it would be fun to go back to some of the older things that were really hard, and just to see, like, you know, there definitely has been power creep to some degree, right? Like,
oh, for sure.
Spiders, power creep for sure. I think Sinister Motives brought a lot of pretty strong cards. Like, I think Kenny Hawk was saying, like, on a recent pod that like he actually thinks Ronin's not as bad as Nebula, with the current card pool. Like Nebula's just kind of frustrating to play.
Well, because there's so much
And Ronin's
surge,
not as
it's
bad.
frustrating.
Yeah, it's Surge, and then like you also just like it feels like it doesn't feel great to have the Milano. Like it feels like a penalty because you have to pay the tax, basically the evasion tax.
Sure.
And he was saying that like Ronin, I think, has gotten better. Not that it's like one of his
Ronin's
favorite
just
things
hard
to
because
play.
he starts with so much stuff, right? Like,
Right, but like there's more tech and stuff to deal with it now, right?
well, sure, but like the deck I played today, there's no way you're taking that deck up against Ronin. You know, even though it might not be 50 turns to build up, you still need some turns to build up. And Ronin just starts you with like 1,000 threat on the board. So, yeah, no, I wouldn't mind going back, doing it. Play with some Wolverine, just kill some fools, or
I feel like Wolverine might go down fast against Ronin, but you know.
yeah,
Yeah, I think it'd be fun to revisit some of those kind of villains, you know.
yeah, for sure. We will definitely do that. Although I did reach out to Fantasy Flight and said, hey, what's going on with the new stuff? And they said, we'll definitely reach out to you at the beginning of the new year. So expect to see more preview cards here. They said we're at the top of their list for people that they're planning on sending stuff out to. So we will see. Hopefully we get that stuff early again. So stay tuned for unboxings and whatever else.
That's just Gambit and Rogue, right?
Yes. Yep.
'Cause that's what's left of the cycle. Cool.
Yep. And of course, they send me the stuff, and I might end up spending like $1,000 on new cameras and stuff like that.
They send you like $30 worth of stuff.
Well, I mean, that's what I did last time. I ended up buying all this crap.
Nice.
Like, so, I mean, I spent way more than the cost of the games. And I said I was going to stream other stuff, but I haven't. So, is what it is. Like,
I feel like if you do a solo thing next week, you should build a thing around like Command Team or something.
All right, well, send me the challenge out. If you're not playing, send me the challenge out. If you are playing, we'll figure out what we're going to play together. But stay subscribed, right. Stay tuned, and you will see what we're doing next Friday.
Cool. Well, happy good night, everyone.
Yeah, have a very Merry Christmas. Happy holidays, whatever holiday you celebrate, and we will see you in a week. Bye.
Yep. Bye, everyone.